What's up? What's up? What's up, Nero? Welcome to everybody in chat and everyone who's going to be watching after the show to episode 30 of the Aim Down Sights podcast. I can't even talk. Lol. Well, it has been a slow week, but the news came out towards the end, so it's actually going to be, I think, a pretty interesting show. And if you've been watching any shows prior to this, then we're just going to be talking about some of the same stuff. Hopefully, put a little bit of our spin on it, and definitely we're going to be hearing from the Ponybot himself, NextGenNero, and his thoughts on the PS5 Pro. But how have you been, Nero? Soul very quickly is joining us late. He shouldn't be too much longer. Something ran over, but he is going to be here for the show, and we'll get what he's been up to. Yeah, but what have you been up to? What have you been playing? Anything you've been watching? Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of games as usual. So I'm gonna start at Xbox. Shout out Turn 10. Another banger update for Forza Motorsport. We'll get into a little bit more of that soon. But that has been amazing. Been playing Apex Legends. So they got a new mode where they bring back the original season, like day one. So it's a limited character pool, like only the day one legends, the original map. That has been fun. And then, a little bit of Black Ops as well. And I got to shout out Halo.
Yeah.
Halo has been cooking.
Halo with the Halo 2 content coming in for Infinite. I'm so excited.
That's been in there. That's been a playlist, and that has been one of the more addicting playlists, man, how they changed the movement and everything like that. And then the third person firefight has been fun as well. And on the PlayStation side of things, because real gamer got a game everywhere, got to get it all.
No, you're a Ponybot. You're a Ponybot.
So they say, look.
He's gonna go full bot on a full pony on us shortly. No, I'm kidding.
I'm just a gamer. I'm just a gamer. I'm just a real gamer. You know what I'm saying? I can't be cutting my, taste off, some things on both platforms that both did well. But look, it's not my fault that all you see, I'm gonna start now. You feel me? Chat, I'm lit. I've been smoking a bit. I'm gonna start now. I'm gonna be honest. It's not my fault. Everybody went out and bought the base PS5. That was a beta console. Let's be for real. This is the real PS5 right here. This is what it should have been day one. So if you had the regular PS5 and that's on you. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason I waited this long. And most of the people that's calling me a pony bot, especially the Xbox people, half of you motherfuckers had the PS5 before me. Y'all bought that big, clunky, ugly ass console way back then. Shout out to the Slim owners. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, back to the games. Gotta shout out Veilguard. Dragon Age Veilguard has been very fun. And it does look better on the PS5 Pro. I got my PS5 Pro yesterday, Friday. FedEx was a day late, like I said before we started the show.
Saturday for you, right? I'm living in Sunday.
They never beaten allegations, man. Gritty was there for me, man. Gritty was texting me throughout, man. He was like, "Damn, man, I hate that for you, man." So that was funny. But the PS5 version, I knew I was gonna get the Pro PS5 anyway. That's why I waited this long, because I never felt like the base PS5 was really worth it.
Yeah,
I
agree with you on that front. I definitely agree with you.
Than my Series X, so going from my Series X, I'm already spoiled having crisp graphics, superior VRR, enhancing my old games and stuff like that. So I waited to get the Pro. It's the same thing I did last generation. I started with the Xbox One and I waited for the PS4 Pro, and that's how it went. So for those who don't know me, that's my routine. I'm a console gamer. I don't really, you feel me? I'm waiting for the Switch too. But on the PS5, Dragon Age was blurry. FSR is blurry on consoles, just like on the Series S. Like if the internal resolution is low, like I said, most of the time the X, for me, I never had problems thinking a game looked that bad on my X personally. Unless a dev like really just neglected it, which sometimes they do because they don't use all the features like variable rate shading and stuff like that. Remember Dead Space Remake when they took it out because the PS5 was struggling with it. So just like how they had to patch in 1440p support, they had to patch in VRR support and stuff like that. So for me, the PS5 was always a beta console, and the Pro was waiting on. So I waited long enough, and I was able to get my Pro. So I'm happy about that. Everybody calling me a pony bot. I'm sorry you bought that beta ass weak ass console, and you ain't have nothing to play. That's you, like dummy. And people who did that with the PS4 last year, same situation. PS4 ain't started getting a plethora of games towards the end of the generation. I'm 3 years in, 4 years in. I'm going to get a P5. So that's that.
Yeah.
But I just want to say this as well to all you ponies and everybody out there, everybody who be support the devs and calling people game broke and broke pass and welfare pass and stuff like that. I now look at the PS5 like the Series S equivalent of Xbox.
Mm.
I look at this PS5 like, all right, yes, it's more powerful than the X, but I'm not really looking like people been asking me, oh, do you think the PS5 Pro is going to blow the Series X out of the water and stuff like that? My answer is no. I think the Series
No.
X is more than capable, and it can hold its own, especially in first party games, stuff like Doom and Fable and even the little smaller games like South of Midnight. So those games that are coming, I'm more than happy with my Series X. It's going to hold itself down.
Mm.
But the base PS5, man, it was already looking dark. It's already looking dark. Like they struggled, and the Series
Yeah.
S outperforms it in certain games as well. So they was already struggling. So I feel
Mm.
like this PS5 Pro was definitely needed. And this is why I'm comfortable coming over here now. To me, it's worth it. The
Yeah.
little extra storage and the extra power. Like I said, I'm used to having this generation. I'm used to having my games enhanced. Like Xbox been doing series consoles. Even my Series S was doing this. Excuse me, auto HDR, FPS boost. I'm used to having my games in my backwards library enhanced. I have a deep digital library on.
Thank you, fuck you, very quickly. Sorry to interrupt, but he's put
Uh-oh.
you. Can you see? Can you see what he's done? I highlighted his
He
comment.
put me. He put what? He put me in a Death Stranding fit.
Yeah.
Is that what I see? Hey, look,
Yep.
that's a
Is
masterpiece. I'm cool.
exactly
Hey,
what
I'm
you
cool with
see.
that. Hey, I'm
See,
look.
like I'm just gonna. That's exactly what fuck you sent me.
Why is so clear on your camera? That's insane. It's so it
Wait,
came in
wait,
so
wait.
HD.
What is the next one? Oh, all right. The next one. The next one. Maybe I turn it on its side. Is it better on its side? Yeah, let's go with it's on its side.
Hey man, shout out Gritty, man. Gritty, get it, man.
Do you love it? Do you
All
love
right, I
that
mean
one?
that's cool. Hey, that's cool. That's cool.
Oh, he's
Death
just trolling.
Stranding a banger. I know. Death Stranding a banger though. Like I'm happy that that's over here for Xbox. Like congrats to Kojima.
Are you
Like
going to talk
that's
through
just
all of
dope.
our all of our
I'm
topics
sorry.
before we
I'm
get
sorry. That's
there?
just
Before we
I'm
get there?
sorry. Hey, look. What have you been playing? My bad. Like y'all see it's the
No,
pony
you're
bots.
all good.
Once y'all get them fucking intalks going and
He's,
shit.
he's,
Like
yeah.
I ain't hold it down. Everybody was ready to leave, and it was rumors about fucking Halo and Forza going over. Everybody, I remember, I stood the front line. God damn it! Everybody
Yeah.
had their P5s, them weak ass, big clunky. I gotta go back to. I'm sorry, Panda. We about to get into the quick news, y'all. But
Yeah.
the original PlayStation 5 is so fucking ugly, yo. I gotta get that off. I'm roaring to my mother. That shit is ugly, bro. That shit is big. It's clunky. Like when my first time seeing that shit in real life, I said, "Yo, what the I wanted to kick that shit over, yo. I wanted to just kick that shit." When I walked in my cousin's house, I wanted to kick that shit. That's how I felt. You feel me? Then
Yeah.
when I seen the Slim, I was like, "All right, I can rock with that." They're making
Mm.
headways. Then we had the Pro. Still
Yeah.
look better, more
Yeah.
powerful, and look better than that big clunky. That, that original P5 ugly, man. But what have you been playing, Panda, and how have you been?
I'm very, very good. I'm just going to quickly shout out to the chat. It's great to see familiar faces, Tryhard Fan, Gritty Gaming, RSJ, Fuck You, Poisoned Maniac, hello. And just like everyone else who's going to be joining in throughout the rest of the show. But yeah, I have been playing Cyberpunk, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and was there anything else I've been playing this week? I don't think so. I have had quite a few edibles in the evening to the point where was it Friday night I couldn't play Call of Duty Black Ops 6 because I couldn't really see properly. It was just like mainly because my eyes couldn't keep up. But yeah, no, I've just been been having fun playing those two games. I love Cyberpunk, and I'm really. I should actually just go and finish my current playthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition, and then pick up Dragon Age Veilguard. Because I love the Dragon Age series. And Pete and I, or Jedi Knight Peter, so some of you might know in the community, had this massive conversation about BioWare on Friday night, Saturday. I don't remember anymore. But we had like a good like hour conversation about BioWare, and it was great. I love those days where you can just chat and talk with people who are just so passionate about video games or studios, and they understand everything you're talking about, and there's no judgment. Whereas when I talk about video games out in the general public, they're like, it's like you're speaking another language to them. And it's so nice that I have this community and do this podcast with you, Nero, and even with Soul. So yeah, that's me. That's me. That's what I've been up to. What have I been watching though? Have I watched anything interesting this week?
Have you started the Penguin?
No, I've been told to start the Penguin a lot, and I need to watch it. Because you can't even tell that that's him. It's
Show's a
so the
banger.
makeup is so good. The acting, from my understanding, is fantastic. Yeah, I do really want to watch the Penguin though. It's on my
Yeah,
list.
and Cyberpunk, man, love that game. I'm
Yeah.
really hoping that get a PS5 Pro enhancement patch. Like, that'd be dope to see.
I
I,
just hope, like, because when with like The Witcher, it had like a Gen 9 aware pack. Like it was
hmm
Gen 9 aware, so it knew it was running on better
hmm
hardware. And I just hope that that's what they've done with like Cyberpunk, is just gone, let's make sure it's aware that it can run better because it can run on better hardware. Kind of like
Well, it's barely running better. It's running better a few frames. I think Digital Foundry touched on it.
that'll
I
just be
think,
through the efficiency of the system rather than
yeah,
actually
yeah,
enabling the game
yeah.
to
I
take
think if
advantage
they
of the
go
power.
and go take advantage and definitely use that PSSR instead
The
of
pista.
FSR, yeah, they use
um,
that PSR.
yeah, the pista.
They might be able to work some magic. Now I definitely got more faith
You
in
should
that than
only use the
FSR.
pisser in a urinal. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Sorry.
I kind of been let down by FSR this generation, man, and I
Um,
feel like devs definitely be using that
I think
as a crutch too.
my understanding about FSR 4.0 is that there's a lot more like AI going into that version that they're releasing, because essentially that's what DLSS is anyway. It's machine learning, AI, all of this stuff, and it's still far superior to FSR. But I think um, because we're still in that transition stage while they're still figuring things out, we're going to run into instances where they're going to take a few steps back before they can take a few steps forward. So hopefully next gen everything's just um, a bit more put together. A bit more put together. Okay. Um, so did you want to lead off with the motorsports quick news, or where would you like to start, Nero?
We can real quick. Final Fantasy producer Yoshida has said that Square Enix plans to release games simultaneously on Xbox going forward. So pretty much every game from Square Enix is gonna come out on Xbox and PlayStation day one. I assume.
Mm,
So there's that.
yeah, that
You
came
know,
out right after the show, right?
yeah, right
Last
after the
week.
show last week. So we just wanted to touch that for any of those that didn't know that. So if you're a Final Fantasy fan or middle fantasy, as I call it sometimes, and you know, those would be on Xbox day one. So more games, more places. It's always a good thing.
Yeah, 100%
Forza
agree with you there.
Motorsport got a huge update. 14 is now available. Man, the amount of work they put in to that game over the year since launch, that is a lot of updates and added content, and just listening to the community feedback. I think that's very important. So shout out to Turn 10. I always try to highlight them whenever they got big updates because
I think they needed to though. Like there was a lot of conversations around when the game first launched. It didn't have as much content as the last game or as much cars as the last game, and so they just modified the engine to take advantage of the new capabilities of the Series S and the Series X hardware, and what was eventually going to end up in PCs anyway. But they're still tweaking things in the background, and I think the next version is just going to far succeed and surpass what Forza Motorsport currently is now, just when we see the next iteration of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's continuing to grow, and just highlight a few things for those that might have played it a year ago and fell off, or months ago and want to come back. So
Up
they got
there.
NASCAR 2024 next gen NASCAR vehicles, the American Thunder Tour. So you got a new tour, and you got a NASCAR series in the future multiplayer. So that's really dope. We also got graphical improvements to reflections, advanced ghosting and multiplayer, improved driver to AI, enhanced car audio for 3 cars. Uh, just plenty of stuff, man. They tuned the head car to car collision response time, and they added a new track for the
Mm.
NASCAR. So that's a lot of content, man. That's a big upgrade. So yeah, shout out to Turn 10, and can't wait to see what they continue to add to the
Um,
game.
fuck you. That is not a good hairstyle on me. He's just trying to like get me to give him the middle finger. I think that's his whole goal in life, is to get me to give him the middle finger. Oh, I love you, fuck you, but fuck you, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Oh, I'm about to download that right now. I dropped Motorsport quickly because it ran poorly on PC. I think it will have a lot of better optimization for PC now. It's been out a little while, but it annoys me so much with games that do multiple releases, and they've clearly spent more time optimizing in one place than the other. But PC's harder to optimize for because of the amount of hardware people have available to them. Hence why they do these are the minimal specs. But yeah, fingers crossed that is now in a better place than it was when it launched. There, try hard. Yeah. Um, Sorry, what were you going to
I
say,
agree.
Nero?
Try hard. Saying DLSS looks better than FSR for sure. I think the PSSR uh, has a lot of potential to look better, and I think Microsoft is already working and got some stuff on the back end.
Yeah,
Uh,
they announced that they were doing their own version. Yeah.
yeah, so that's gonna be really interesting to see going forward. That'll be huge, and really look forward to that. Like I said, man, the PS5 base, man, it was looking dark, man. You know, everybody can talk about cell numbers and stuff like that. I get it, I understand, but on a pure hardware side of things, compared to just the Series X alone, just them two consoles head to head, it wasn't looking. The PS5 was very, you know, underpowered, man. A lot of constraints, man. Just not really a good console in my honest opinion. So, you know, the price on the PS5 Pro, you know, if you can afford it, I would definitely recommend it. I'm gonna keep saying it, man. Like that base PS5, that
I
shit, that
mean,
joint
fair
is.
enough.
I'm currently looking at the base PS5 the way they look at the Series S.
Yeah,
So I don't
we're
want
going
to
to
hear
talk
no
about it
PS5
anyway
owner talking
because
about that.
I've got some thoughts on
Definitely.
it. And so yeah, but before we get into any of those main topics, I'm just very quickly, if I can hopefully sort my life out, is apparently this is rumored, is Call of Duty Studios Sledgehammer Games is reportedly working on a new Halo game. And for anyone who knows me, I love Halo. Absolutely love Halo. Fable's my ride or die, though. Everybody, I'm just be honest, that's my ride or die. And I'm a big Gears fan, but like Fable's my ride or die. So just deal with it if you're if you like live and breathe Halo or Gears. Um, But I'm actually quite excited for this. So this would be, if this is true, um, this would be the studio behind Advanced Warfare. Um, and so I think if they did do a Halo game, and it doesn't even have to be like Master Chief, it could be expanding on the lore and the universe and just a different team or something that's still in the Halo universe. I would be really excited to see another studio throw their hat in the ring and deliver something that isn't from Halo Studios, formerly 343 Industries. Um, because we've seen what they, I know they're changing, everything's changing over at Halo Studios, but we saw what happened with what their vision was. We've seen some great stuff with side projects, like the Halo Wars series, Halo Wars 2. Um, those games are great if you're into RTSs, but I think they need to expand on it. Like I said, I would love a horror Halo game, but who knows?
I
Oh,
would too.
yeah, it would just be great. But what are your thoughts on the potential around this rumor? Because I think it's fantastic if it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for any potential new Halo content from anywhere. Halo, my baby, so I love Halo, man. Uh, Great franchise, legendary character, beautiful
Hmm.
lore, story, universe, and it's just kind of mind boggling how they haven't had more branches off in games and stuff, but how deep that universe is.
Yeah.
I think that they should have bended this. Even
Mm.
little things like a Telltale Halo style story would be
Yes,
dope. A
that is a
little
great
horror.
idea. Telltale version. That's
You know,
fantastic. I love it.
that'd be really dope, man. You know, just how devastating a lot of the wars and stuff is. What's going on in Halo, man? It's brutal. Like humanity got their ass kicked for a
Yeah.
long time, so you can really play into that.
Yeah, you
Even
could.
just being a human, trying to navigate. Even grunts is a threat at that point.
Yeah.
You're just so used to seeing Master Chief run around and smack the hell out of them little grunts across the room. Now them grunts is a problem. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
And I
it's a
think
lot to be done.
when you talk about being like a human in a world where like even grunts would be hard to take on as a human, like we all saw what they did with the Paramount Halo show and just what it was like of regular humans. If you've watched it with the fall of Reach and like what happened to them and like even Master Chief fighting them, you could just see like a regular human doesn't stand a chance. And so
Definitely.
it's very interesting. But I'm super excited. A Halo horror game with the flood, please. Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
agree with everybody in the
When are they
chat,
gonna
man.
when are they gonna do it? But yes,
I agree with
100
Poison too. Another ODST type game would be dope as well. I agree.
100% another ODST type game. Halo
See,
Reach, I think, was also just such a fantastic game as
I
well.
hate to be that guy, man, but I'm pro remake, man, pro remaster, man. Bring them from the ground up, man. Bring them. Everybody they talking about switching to UE5. All right, man. Support some things over. Like
Yeah.
see me, I'm a reach stand. Like, and that's just the proof that the one time they did branch off away from Chief outside of like five,
Mm,
they did it so well. Like Reach is just so everything about it, immaculate. Like Halo
yeah.
Reach is legendary. I would love a Halo Reach remake. Like
Well,
you give me a Halo Reach remake. Go ahead, put that in.
it's just so
UE5.
interesting to play a game where like you start in the story and you get so far in the story and they're like, how about we tell you how you led to what led to that first game? Like, what was the little story that led up to where you start in combat evolved? And I think those stories are so important. I think it's why so many people are excited for like Gears of War E Day because you've
Mhm.
played Gears of War 1, 2, and 3, and you're like, what was it like before during like the emergence day? And I think people are wanting stories that aren't just the main line in that respect. And I would
Definitely.
just, yeah, even though I love Master Chief, but yeah, they just need a little bit of something. But I hope it's true. I really hope it's true. If
You
this
have
rumor,
to start setting up. You have to, unless you're a Doom guy, right? You have to start setting up a post Master Chief world, in my honest
Yeah.
opinion. You see Kratos, you kind of see God of War doing it. Like you can see maybe they try to pass the torch down to
Atreus.
Atreus. Uh,
Yeah.
by the way, y'all, 2020 this year, right? 2024 will be the year I beat Mid of War 2018, Dad of War 2018. I'm gonna go beat that, man. I was able to import my save file um, from the PlayStation 4 cloud, and I was able to get some
So
way
wait. Are
back
you
into the
paying
story.
for cloud saves?
That's what it seems like, Panda, and it's very inferior too. If you ask me, it's not as like the whole cloud thing. I mean, the cloud Xbox is all around better, in my opinion, just like how seamless everything is. But I do like being able to stream Batman Arkham Origins from PS Plus. I know I've been saying that the last few weeks. I got to keep saying that. I feel like
I agree,
that's
Gritty.
very dope and fun to see.
I agree.
What my boy Gritty say, it's better when they do spinoffs because then all the Halo nerds don't get their pennies in a bunch when the lore isn't perfect. Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a
Yeah.
fact. But with the lore being so deep, like it's like y'all should be able to do a little spinoff in another story and still have it be precise and have it be good. You know, like I said, Reach is a good example. I'll always go back to. Love Reach.
Reach, yeah. Halo Reach. Such a good story. Such a good story, which is why I was like, well, I was watching the Halo TV show, and
Mm-hmm.
you're on Reach, and like what's happening there, and you're like, it just brings back so many memories and emotions from when I played that game. All right,
Oh wait, hold up, fuck you, yo, fuck you, because look, hold up,
what's fuck you done?
my phone been on mute, so I didn't realize you sent me the uh pictures personally, and I get to see him up close in
You get
high
to see him?
quality.
Yep,
That Death Stranding one is not too shabby, sir.
I
Hey,
know,
fuck
right?
you. If you still in here listening, I'm gonna give you your flowers. Now I don't like you putting me on the other one. Yo, that is funny as hell. No way, man. Nah, me on. Hey, that is really. Hey, man, I appreciate that, man. Hey, I appreciate that,
That's
man.
all right. I am Aloy right now, so
Hey, yeah, you definitely got
yeah.
to be Aloy.
No.
Me and the Returnal one is funny as hell. Yo, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so late, chat. Because I only seen it through Panda phone when she turned her phone around, and I seen it when he changed his profile picture. But seeing it on my phone in HD, man,
Lol.
that is. I appreciate that, man.
Lol.
Appreciate that.
Um. All right. So, if you
If I
want to
ever go
read
full
it.
pony, I'm covered. I already got my art guy. Like I'm covered.
So, there is another potential handheld reveal at some point. And this is basically the reveal was done by, I can't remember who it was done by actually. Honestly, I'm half dead. I've been up a little bit earlier than I wanted to be, but it's reported that we're likely to get an announcement in 2025, and rather than it being next gen, it would just be expanding the current one. And I don't know how everyone would feel about that if that is the
Ooh,
case.
I got some bars.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts if that's the case? Would you, or do you think that they would need to put it to next gen? What is your thoughts around the success of this? He's fucking
First
funny.
of all, before I start with this, I want to say shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We appreciate y'all. Soul running a little behind. Also, guys, Panda, I want to salute the Panda. Panda really been on her health things, guys. Not to put her on the spot, like she's been really motivating. She's going for these walks, sending me these beautiful pictures and vistas. I'm like, yo, she's Death Stranding in real life. Like it's like I'm seeing her there. Like So,
Yep.
and I just wanted to say the news is slow. So, I just want to, hey, I'm blazing. So we don't got that many topics. We just freestyling. Y'all know the last High Panda episode. Panda, you know how it was. We it was
Yeah.
all vibes.
Well, I've had
But
an edible, but edibles take long to kick in, so I am
mhm.
going to turn on my vape and have a sesh that
Yeah,
way,
yeah, you
and
know what I'm
it'll
saying? Yeah,
yeah.
man. Everybody, if you got something at home, take
I
a little
prepped
drink.
my
Like,
sesh before the show. I was like,
Alright.
I don't want to be prepping it while I'm on the show.
Here go Reese with
Okay.
that bullshit again. Go Reese with that bullshit.
um, but yeah, what were you saying? What are your thoughts around the
All right.
potential that's rumored that
Um,
it could
I
be just
actually
Gen?
hope I really hope they do this. Um, because I don't want Xbox next gen console to come in 2026
Yeah,
or 2027. Maybe 2027, 2028. I know I might sound like a madman, but I'm sorry, not sorry. I feel like I've barely been able to really appreciate and connect with my consoles. When I look at my Series X, I love this bad boy. Just the thought of getting rid of it for some newer hardware, I feel like, I can we get delivered what's, you know, due now. And I think that's why I always supported the Xbox One X and the PlayStation 4 Pros, because it extends those consoles generations, a little longer. I want it to last longer. I don't think we need a next gen Xbox right now, and I don't think we need a PS6 right now. I feel like the PS5 hasn't been fully utilized. I know I come on here and troll, and excuse me, guys. I know I troll about the consoles being weak and stuff like that, but seriously, none of these consoles has been fully taken advantage of. And, we got a good roadmap, especially from Xbox, and it'll be nice to see stuff like Fable, Gears, E-Day. I want that stuff to get here first. Can we? I want that to get here. I want at least GTA 6 to get here. With all this next gen talk, I want that to get here. And people might be like, "Well, how can you support the
you know
PS5
they're gonna
Pro?"
fucking patch GTA 6 or re-deliver a version to sell to the next gen for
Mm-hmm.
GTA 6, right?
Oh, of
And,
course, they are about to rake in so much. And guess what? I'll be there to buy it. Just like millions and millions of other people, billions of people will be there. Millions of
um,
people will be there to buy that.
very quickly, OG just newbie said, finally somebody said it. We don't need a next gen Xbox yet. I agree 100% with that statement that Nero was talking about, and it sounds like you do as well, OG newbie. Um, we don't need one.
I've been saying it for a while, right?
Yeah, we don't.
Xbox just need a handheld. Sony completely, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm tempted to get a PS Portal, no trolley shit, because that'd be dope to play games like Sonic or Astro Bottom when I want to be in the bed or be somewhere else where I'm not at my monitor at my desk. That'd be cool. But Microsoft, you just need them. It's so easy for Microsoft to easily surpass that. I'm so happy if this is true, because Microsoft, you don't need to rush out your next gen console right now. You see, Sony
Hey,
just put out their true next gen console. I'm gonna keep saying that. The PS5 Pro is Sony true PS5. In my eyes, that's how I look at it, and that's what I
Nero,
believe.
very quickly check your DMs from fuck you. None of this DEI crap there, fuck you. No, I'm kidding.
Oh man, let me see.
Oh. Um, would you
Not the up close
I
ones.
mean, would you care if they just pushed the handheld to next gen though, or would you'd specifically prefer it to be, I guess, cross compatible between the two
I want.
generations? What are
First
your
of all, I
thoughts?
want this. I want this to be cross. I want that shit to be, man. Put that shit on par with the Series S, man. Put that shit, as long as it's able to do your games locally and it's able to do your games well on the screen. Just, it's not hard to outdo the Switch. It's not hard to outdo the PS Portal. Make your own handheld. Make this for for your fans. It makes sense. You talk about play everywhere. People is going to be playing on phones and stuff like that, but people is also playing on handhelds. The Switch is sitting right here in your face, to Sony and to PlayStation. I don't understand why this
Switch two,
hasn't been a
baby.
thing
Switch two,
for both of
baby.
these consoles to invest in. You know, like, I get it. You don't want to just go like compete, one on one with the Switch. No, dumbasses, you're not doing that. You got shit that's blowing the Switch out of the water. You got your PlayStation, you got your Xbox, your Series consoles. Your hardcore. But go ahead and put a handheld out. If you putting out Series S's still, you go
Well,
ahead and put a handheld out that's on par with a Series S, in my opinion.
here's the thing: is I think that the Xbox handheld could be definitely better than the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally, any other of the other handhelds that are being done, because they just know the way they do their software for the console and the way that they could line it up to have access to Steam, access to Epic, access to everything else that you would want access to in a handheld device and play your games natively, I think they could really do it. They've proven time and time again, and they even have like the service team available to use. Um, that they have really honed in on like good engineering in regards to the way the consoles are designed, because of we looked at the One X and the fact it was smaller than the OG and almost exactly or slightly smaller than the One S um, new version that they did. That is some fantastic engineering of that console. And then when we saw the One X and the way that that was designed, um, so smart. Then they made the Series S, and that is also a tiny unit. So I think they could
Mm-hmm.
definitely, using the Surface Team, design a fantastic handheld that isn't like a PC. So it's still like the experience you get from console, but it's streamlined for accessing these different storefronts to play these games on, and your cloud gaming, all of the stuff available
Can I
to
say
you. I
something,
think they
Panda?
can do something good.
Do
Yeah,
you
sorry, go.
remember it was rumors of a little cloud box Xbox is working on, like a little
Yes.
stream box?
Yep.
Can I say something? Is this a safe space?
Yeah, go for it.
That's the dumbest fucking shit I ever fucking seen. Looking back at it, like why the fuck? I don't want that shit. Give me a fucking handheld. Like I don't work on none of that stupid silly ass shit. You trying to give me a little fucking box to
I
just
think
flick
that
stream off of? I mean, it,
I
it makes sense, but I
I
much
mean,
rather, from a fan perspective, I much rather have a handheld and
you
shit.
know how with like any company where they look at 5, 10 years in advance and they go, "This is the plan. How do we achieve it?" And so
Mm-hmm.
that was their idea back then, because I don't think they realized how successful handheld would come in the market, because the market's suddenly becoming a little bit saturated to some degree. But like saw the success of the Series S, and obviously that then the Steam Deck's out, the ROG Ally, all of the stuff, and they are. So I think they stepped away from that, knowing that wasn't going to be an avenue, and they've actually kind of created it anyway with the Amazon Fire Stick. So they didn't even need to technically invest time and money in there. But people make hardware all the time and it never goes to fruition, just because they then go, actually, it's probably not going to work, or we can't get what we want from this and deliver the way
Mm-hmm.
we want to the consumer. Yeah, I
I,
think
I I say this
I
though, like
wouldn't have got one. It might have been good like in a hotel or something, but I don't think I would have ever bothered to spend money on an Xbox version of that. No.
I say this though, at least Xbox don't like drop failed products. I will say that, like
They
you
do.
know,
They
they
do.
they 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 don't do that. Like I feel like the PSVR, like that's gritty, gritty, and the 8 other people that own that headset, like they want support, and it seemed like they kind of gave up on that. The
Well,
portal, like I said, the portal seems convenient, but the fact that you got to stream to your console, I'm like, come on, that's
we saw
come
Microsoft
on.
buy, oh my god, Beam? Was it called Beam before they renamed it Mixer? I feel like that's what it was. To take on oh my god, Twitch, right? And YouTube and all of the other places where people stream. Um and it was a great service, but it wasn't going to go anywhere unless they put it everywhere. And so that failed. I'm trying to remember this other thing that they had before that also kind of was a failed venture. Obviously, they should have never pulled out of the Windows Phone. I think their Windows Phone was fantastic, but you never know. Um, but yeah, I'm excited
Hey,
if,
hey, Reese, man, let me say
regardless
something.
of when we get a handheld,
Because
whether it's
Reese,
this
Reese
gen
trying
or
to
next gen. Yeah,
Reese trying to get some shit off in the chat, man. Reese funny. He said, "Let me tell Reese something, man. Reese ain't a gritty. Reese ain't beat the Starfield DLC yet. He keeps saying make me beat Sonic, right? I've been waiting to talk to him about this DLC for months. Like it feel like months now. I know it ain't been that long, but it feels like a very long time. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like
controlling you, man.
Yeah, man. He's Reese, my guy. He be trolling hard, but it's like, yo, Reese, man, you got a lot of games you need to go ahead and you feel what I'm saying? Like the way he was doing all this, like he was gonna beat Alan Wake and play Alan Wake. He ain't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't even go beat that yet. We got Jedi on a great sale in December a year ago. Like you ain't even go touch that. Go ahead and knock out some of them games, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and knock out some of them games, man. You know what I'm saying? When you game like me, man, you knock out so much stuff, you gotta have more than one place to play. Go knock out all them tours in Forza, man.
All right. Hello, good
Shout out
evening,
Reese,
Big
man.
Bad Mo. Welcome to the show. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna quickly take us back to two. I'm just wondering where Soul is, eh? I hope he's okay. Hope he's getting home safely.
Definitely.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right.
Okay.
So man, this next news, you
Yeah, go
want to
for
take
it.
it? All right,
No,
because
I wanted to
I'm
quickly
I'm
check something.
super excited for this. Stalker 2 has officially gone gold. Let's get it, man. That's about to be one of the best games to drop this gen, in my opinion, man. All the previews is looking really good. It's sounding pretty good. Uh, those devs has worked through hell, worked through war to get this game out, man. So really look forward to supporting them.
Thank you, Reese. Oh my god, that's fucking
Yeah.
fantastic. Don't worry about my games. Don't let me catch you blowing in that controller again. Yes!
Yo.
Oh,
Yo.
fuck yes.
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yo, that's
Oh.
wild. Damn, Reese. That's how you,
I mean, Reese, I couldn't have said it better if I tried, so thank you.
damn, yo, get that off the screen, man. We ain't letting that sit too long.
That's gonna be
we ain't
on the
like,
that's gonna be the
we
whole
ain't like
show
that.
just sitting
We ain't
there.
letting that. Look, we ain't letting
You
that
know
sit too
what?
long.
You know what? Just
Oh man.
I agree with him though. Like, if I see you blowing that thing, I'm gonna be like,
No,
no.
like, listen, don't be mad at me because y'all don't know what a real next gen controller feel like. You know what I'm saying? Look, let me get this off.
Hey,
PlayStation,
plenty of
listen, let me get this
PlayStation
off.
people know what it feels like because they sleep with theirs.
Like I'm
Sorry,
gonna get
and
this off.
only that toxic one.
I'm gonna get this off. PlayStation fans should have been jealous of Series X fans all generation because they don't know what a true next gen console feels like. Xbox fans and owners has had a true next gen console with the Series X since day one. Now, on the other foot, with that being said, as a Series X owner, y'all should feel a little salty that y'all don't got a true next gen controller. Y'all might laugh at it, and I understand it, but DualSense is a real motherfucking next gen controller, and I would not be shamed for enjoying that goddamn controller. That controller is hard, man. That is a goated controller.
I
Let me say
thought,
that because I
you
couldn't
know,
stand the dual. What is it? The Dual Shock 4. I could not
DualShock
stand that
4.
controller.
It felt like a Hasbro toy. It felt super light and like it was made for children. Just a fact. Um, and what are we talking about? We were talking about Stalker 2, right?
Yeah, before Reese came, man. Look, you see, Reese be derailing. Reese derailed the whole show. He's a menace.
And we're both like, I'm high now, so the show's gone to shit.
Me too, but he's a menace. No, don't focus on us being high. Don't make that the problem. What we're doing, what the activities we're engaging in, that's not the problem. We should be high. We should be able to do. It's Reese's fault.
Yeah,
Reese is a
yeah.
menace, man. Reese
Um,
come in here,
love
but
you, Reese.
anyway, Stalker 2. I'm excited for that. I definitely think that's gonna be one of the best games this year. Probably a game of the year
Comes out
contender.
November. What day does this come out? November. Anyone in chat? I can't remember what day that comes
Yeah,
out.
I look it up because
But I am
somebody in
also
chat let me know.
excited for this game. Uh,
Banger.
for what that studio and those developers have been through to still finally get to that point where they can deliver this product.
Mhm.
Um, the just the source material, it's just like it's what inspired Metro, and I think it's so nice to see them deliver a sequel
Yo, Gritty, you
to a
about to piss
game
me
from
off.
forever ago. I'm pissing you off? Why?
No, Gritty about
Oh,
to piss me
Gritty.
off.
I thought
I'm
you said
so sorry.
Panda. I was like,
Nah,
what did I
I'm
do?
sorry. Nah, Panda,
See,
nah,
can't even hear
Gritty,
properly.
Gritty, don't ever say no dumb shit like that.
Um,
Don't. He said Indiana Jones over Stalker. Nah, don't do that, bro. Don't do that, bro. Stalker
I
about to
don't think
shit
you
on
can.
Indiana Jones. Well, it's
No,
not gonna
no,
shit.
no,
I ain't
no,
gonna.
no,
We
no.
can't do
We're
that. We
not. We're
can't do
not
that.
going to talk
We
about
not
which
gonna do that.
game is
We're not gonna
shitting
do
on
that. We're
which
not gonna do that.
game.
It's not that. Look, that's the wrong word. But Stalker 2 is about to be something else, man. Indiana Jones will be too, but let's not forget what it is. It's Indiana Jones. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like it's Indiana Jones. But Stalker 2 is about to be something. It's about to be different. Like don't do that. Like he caught me, man. He caught me lacking. He threw one in there. He threw one in there. See him and Reese Slick. He threw one in there. But I'm
um,
sorry. I'm
no, that's so
excited
good.
for it.
I I think a lot of the discourse around it and how pleasantly surprised some people have been with this version that they've got a chance to play recently, versus the version that some people tried last year, and hence why it looked like it got pushed out another year, was just to deliver a quality and stable game. It looks stunning. The story, from what I can understand around what we know about the story, is interesting. And it's going to be a game that I'm even going to play, even though I'll probably be like music down, just so I don't scare myself. Because like high intensity stuff, just just the fact that anything could happen and so yeah, will scare the crap out of me. But I'm definitely excited to play this. And the fact it's gone gold, congrats that they've got to this point. It's almost in our fingertips, almost. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to know why I said we're not going to compare Indiana Jones and Stalker 2 together? Well, with each other? Soul's here. Soul is here. He'll join us shortly. It's purely just because we had, as you're aware, some sad news. Legendary actor Tony Todd passed away at the age of 69. And you may remember him from Candyman, Venom and Spider-Man 2. He's also in the new Indiana Jones game coming out in December. So his likeness is going to be in there. And I think you can't take away from what Indy is, and you can't take away from what Stalker 2 is, and you can't compare them. And today is a great reason why you can't compare them. It just makes me sad. I loved him as an actor. He was awesome.
Yo.
Yeah. Heartbreaking. Hi, Soul. I'll put you up on screen. Yes, I can.
All right, I had
I
to
can,
log
Nero.
out and come back.
Oh,
Yeah, so,
damn it.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
You're real, like, not.
am I low?
Yeah, you're low.
I
You're
don't know why I'm so low. Okay, interesting. Don't know what that is.
maybe I just adjust your volume manually at my end.
Don't know. I don't.
Welcome,
I don't think I
welcome,
need to be right
welcome.
on top. What's
Yeah,
going on, people?
you just need to swallow the mic. Yeah.
We're starting. We're starting, and I
You've
just.
been here less than 30 seconds,
It
and
ain't
I'm
even been
like,
30 seconds, and come on
yep.
now. Come on now. Come on now. Wait a minute. What are we doing?
Um,
Ah,
you arrived just
say
on time because we're about to get to like the main topics. So we've just
we
kind of
getting into the main
gone.
topics.
We've just gone through the quick news,
Okay. Okay.
and we found out how big a pony bot Nero is. I love you, Nero. I do.
oh
Oh, so
man.
so check it out.
Um,
So I'm
yeah.
on my way home. I'm trying to get. I'm weaving through traffic, and I'm trying to get there right. And I turn the show. I said, "Oh, let me turn the show on." Right.
You talking about the
And
PS5 as soon as you did?
and when I turned the show on, I felt like I was standing in the midst of a stable,
Yeah.
and it was
It's
it was
crazy.
just it was kind of like manure to my left, manure to my right, and I couldn't believe what my ears were hearing. with all this
Mm,
shoveling that
mm,
was
mm,
going
mm.
on. You know what I mean? And I'm just like,
Love
I
you,
can't
Soul.
believe it. You know, it baffles the mind. No,
They don't let you be
say,
gamers out here nowadays, y'all. They don't let you be. Lord forbid you just be a gamer.
no,
You
no,
just
no,
want
no,
to be
no, no.
somebody that
We have
go
to
out
give you
here.
shit about this, Nero. You are my guy,
Look,
and you know we
that's
talk behind the
perfectly.
scenes
Look,
because I needed for you to.
Look, I'm gonna give
I
y'all
needed for you
shit.
to clear some stuff up.
Y'all bought a beta console.
We did.
That's all
We
y'all fault. I
eh,
didn't. I waited
you
until the
didn't.
pro came out and I got the pro.
You did. You did.
So
You
so
did.
we that so y'all so as much as y'all want to clown me, y'all clown yourself first. Y'all all went out. Y'all waited to get patched in 1440p. So you waited to get patched in via VRR. You know what I'm saying? And y'all and that console was big and ugly, and it only had like
It was.
600 usable gigabytes of storage.
Oh
That's the
my god.
Series
Yeah.
S. Look, now that I got the Pro,
Did
I
you say
look at
that's the
every
Series S?
equivalent. Yeah, that's the PS5 Series S.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool.
Now, when you think about it, it really makes sense. The
Yeah.
PS5 is on par with the Series S, man. In my opinion, they ain't too far off, bro.
Mm, mm.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
you know
So
what, man? I just had
everybody
to give
bought
you some
that.
shit, man.
You know, I
I
gotta
had to give you shit about
gotta
that.
fight back
It's a,
with that, man.
no, 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 no. It's all good, man. No, no.
Anyway,
I'm like you. I had the thing, and it just it was sitting there, and I had an opportunity, and I took it, and I've been good since though. And I will say
So
this, and
you
I've said
look,
it
you did the
before.
right thing, bro.
No, I know. Well, I
That
feel like
console
I
was
did.
ass.
Because well, not just that in a sense, but there wasn't much that was really holding my interest. And then of course the PS Plus, it just wasn't hitting for me personally. And so yeah, it was an easy move. But I can see how, you know, you could be there and everything is good. They got good, they have good games over there.
Plus, I
they,
Maybe the
gotta. I
ones
mean,
that are the bigger ones,
it,
yeah, those are good.
I
it's a
got an extensive
good
backlog
console to
over here
play
as
on.
well. Like
Yeah.
I got an extensive backlog. Like my digital library on Xbox. When I say I've been an Xbox and PlayStation gamer my whole life, like that's what it is. I got plenty of
Yeah.
games on digitally over there that I'm not just gonna neglect.
Uh-oh.
Just like I got
Yeah.
plenty of games over here on Xbox. But people won't admit it, and I don't mean to be funny and stuff like that, but the PS, you know, people ask me like, hey, is the PS5 Pro like, you know, since you know we in the main topics, y'all, we talking about the specs now. I
Right,
so I'll get
right.
into it.
I was
People
going to
mhm.
ask what Soul was up to
Okay,
before.
oh I'm sorry. I'm
And
sorry.
if you wanted, if
Yeah,
there's
my
anything
bad,
that you
soul,
wanted
my
to
bad.
talk about, if there's anything you wanted to talk about from previous stuff. Yeah.
Well, oh, yeah. Okay. So first of all, hey chat, thank you all for being here. Love you guys for showing up. Excuse my tardiness. I do not like to be tardy to the party, but I have every week, not every weekend, but at least once a month, I have a previous engagement that I am indebted to. You know, have a life outside of the life here at the house, and so I am in education, and I am a education director in my fraternity, and so we do a lot of good things in our community, and I am very much about community giving back. I'm an educator by nature for those who hadn't picked up on that or didn't know. And so whenever we have our meetings, you know, I have to be there being a part of our executive board and everything like that. So I have to be there. And I was rushing home and I'm listening to all this goodness and everything, just wishing that I could be here. But thinking about this past week and the lack of gaming that I've done, like I got into Veilguard, and I don't care what anybody says, I'm digging it.
Really good
I'm
game.
digging it.
Really good
I'm
game,
digging
man.
it. Now, early, I can say I like the voice acting, but some of it is a little off track, and I don't know if there's some setting I need to get. And somebody let me know about the setting so I can get the voice and the lip sync on track a little bit better. Um, but I'm digging the game. I have to get into the action piece of, you know, pulling the right bumper and the trigger and this and the up and the down and all the good flow of everything. But I'm digging it. It's pretty cool. The lore so far is cool. This is my first Dragon Age game, and I have no complaints. Now, I think last week or so when we were talking about Dragon Age, and or maybe this was all in my head. Hell, I always have so much in my head, and who knows what's going to be going on in my head here later on, because maybe I made a visit upstairs to that secret place, that secret lockbox, and maybe I'm joining the party, like maybe with Panda or something. Who knows? But I say all that to say, I say all that to say, um, there was a scene that I that I saw Colt pull up about a week or so ago, and it was a scene within Velgard that apparently you have to choose a certain either class or gender or something in order to even see this whole conversation. Otherwise, it's not natural, not a natural conversation in the game. And I'm thinking to myself, not to saying that's what he did, but if that's what you have to do to get to the part that people are all up in arms about and this being forced here and all this commentary, then you're looking for it.
Mm.
If you're playing just your natural game, then you won't see it. You don't have to see it. You don't have to witness it. You don't have to hear it if that's not what you like or whatnot.
It's
And
like
so,
when you're like allergic or don't like something and you're super always like on the lookout or alert for it, and so you will find what you're looking for at the end of
let me
the day.
at
Yeah.
Panda, exactly. I remember when, I'm growing up and my pops would say, "Boy, you're going to get what you're looking for." And so, as a, like a pops, whatever, but you will get what you're looking for. So if that's what you want to see, you will definitely see it. You know what I mean? But so far, the game has been nothing but good for me. I'm digging it. I can't wait to get deeper into it. That's my new jaunt that I'm into right now. I'm still playing D4. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm loving the Spiritborn, but the lack of GAs, the lack of quality aspects, and just some of the overall repetitiveness right now is making D4 kind of a little bit easier to put down.
Oh yeah,
And
I've stepped away and I'm like, usually I'm so addicted.
yeah, and I'm loving the Spiritborn. I'm loving the fact that it's OP. People are complaining about, well, it's too OP. Well, they're gonna nerf it, or they need to do this, they need to do that. You need to just play the game and enjoy it for what it is, and stop
Something
crying
off
and
this
complaining
season.
that
It's taking way
I'll be honest. I just
your
want my
class.
Crusader class from D3. I
Yeah,
want
yeah,
my
yeah.
Crusader. It's the only one I want.
I don't know if
Right,
it's
right,
me,
right.
but it seemed like it's taking longer to get through the battle pass this season.
Oh, well, it did. I got through it, right? And it took me longer this season than it did season
Were you
4
playing by
or season
yourself?
5. Primarily, I'm playing by myself.
Well, that'll probably be why I
Yeah, if you
reckon.
play with other
Because
folks, the XP is gonna jump. But
yeah,
see,
your XP
I'm the
jumps.
guy I'm popping an opal, I'm popping an elixir, another elixir, I'm popping everything, right? I'm popping tags too. I'm popping
But I
everything.
agree, it's a lot longer. Yeah.
It's like they purposely made it just long for whatever reason. Um, but it D4 is D4, and it is what it is. I mean, hopefully, I don't know. It is. I don't know if it's going to get any better for this season. The mythics are dropping for some people at a crazy rate, and for me, one did drop. I didn't jump to Torment 4. I'm still in Torment 2 at this point in time. Jumping to Torment 4 just for hell, why? So I'm staying in Torment 2. Everything is good, but the lack of GAs, and let's say if you get a 2 and 3 or 4 GA, right? The aspect has been shit for me personally.
Hmm.
And so that's frustrating that you grind, and my time is very limited, right? Very limited for
Yes.
gaming.
Yep.
Yeah. And so then you grind, you finally see a 4-star, and then you get it and you're like, this is shit. This 750 is better than what I got on. And almost, and I don't have any 750s on left for those who are playing who know, but it's kind of like this is a shit piece after all is said and done. So that's been really, really disappointing. Um, other than that, I'm still kind of jacking around with Black Ops.
Hmm.
Still in the early mission. I'm liking what I'm playing though. I'm digging it. Um, I'm excited to keep on pushing forward, but I think Velgard kind of might have me right now. So Black Ops is going. It's there. It's not going to go anywhere. Not for what I want it for. So I'm kind of good if I'm getting you caught up to where I am with all this gaming and everything at Grizzly. 2 girls in 1 cup. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Don't bring that back.
What?
Don't bring that
Why
back.
is that like, in the
I
conversation?
don't
I'm so
even know. I
confused.
missed it. I've been trying to look. And that is, are you
I
even
didn't even
old
see.
enough to know what that is? Really? Like that's been a while.
Oh
So
my no, because when I was young, it was a massive thing when I was young.
yeah,
Like
when
real,
you would have
when I'm
been
like
like, yeah, yeah,
ish,
you'd have been like,
early
yeah,
teens.
yeah. You'd have been really pretty young then. So,
It would have been in
but hey,
maybe 20 years ago.
he says I'm old enough. Okay, good. Well, good deal. Good deal. That's what's up. So yeah, that's it. That's me. I'm caught up on the gaming scene. Same old for the most part. Dragon Age. I think that's going to be the one that's going to get me. I'm ready for some Black Friday sales.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm hoping to catch Cyberpunk on sale again, and finally go ahead and get that. I want just the whole shebang, the one with Idris
I
Elba.
got that because
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
been
yeah, yeah.
playing it again.
Yeah. I want that. I never did pick it up. And by the time I was going to get it, it had jumped back up because everything was fixed. And I was like, I ain't paying full price for that. And so hopefully it'll drop back down. I'll go ahead and grab that. Excited about what's coming in Game Pass here soon. A lot of good stuff that's coming out. Looking forward to pretty much everything that's coming through. You know,
Yeah.
really can't wait to December because I'm an indie guy.
Mm.
I will check out Stalker. The new trailer looked pretty dope. So, exciting stuff coming. Looking forward to in the next month and a half here. Yeah, I'm old enough to remember land on the on the Xbox on Xbox Connect. Yeah, I'm definitely old enough. If man, I'm I'm old enough to be their parents. That's how old I am.
Hey, we're old enough to remember what fucking dial-up was like, guys.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Megan,
they're
my mum would be on the phone and be like, "Oh fuck it, I'll just go to my
yeah,
room."
yeah. Yo, hey, did y'all talk about how Astrobot didn't
No,
sell very
no,
well?
we
I
haven't
didn't know if
talked
that
about
was
it.
going to be a topic, a little
It
quick
is a
one or
topic,
whatnot.
and I
Oh,
will add.
okay,
It is a topic. Yeah.
okay. I mean, they calling
But
it
we're gonna
Astrobot.
talk about our first main topic, which
Go ahead.
is the PS5 Pro's actual specs have been revealed, and we are lucky enough to have someone on our panel member who has a PS5 Pro, who's played a PS5, who has played Series X, and such, and so really happy to have someone who can actually explain what he's noticing around the differences. But we've heard a lot of things since the PS5 Pro reveal. The rumors over the time that it's been rumored that it was coming, and I was like, they don't need one, they don't need one, they don't need one. But Nero's going to tell you that definitely agrees that they did. Um, I have two opinions on that, but it was rumored to be 33.3 teraflops. We were told teraflops from the community doesn't mean anything, but once they heard
People got to stop listening to
rumored,
Dreamcast guy.
they were
He
like,
started it.
amazing. But it actually turned out to be 16.7 teraflops for the GPU. Um, and this is still the same architecture as the original GPU. So it's still RDNA 1.5. But it's at 16.7 teraflops. Now, doing math a little bit seems to me like some of the stuff that they said when they were announcing it around percentages incorrect. But the CPU is exactly the same. They've done no work on the CPU. It is a lighter unit. It is not as big as you think it would be. They haven't done what they did with the PS4 Pro, which was just turn it into a fucking hamburger, and just add an extra patty or two in there. But I feel like they've done a better job with their engineering of their Pro console than they did last generation. So it seems like they're learning. Nero, I'm going to jump to you anyway first, just because we do have you who's played it and such. What were your thoughts around your experience, and even your thoughts around the
Uh,
stats, the specs, sorry, that came out about this?
well,
What have you been doing with it?
I didn't believe the 33 teraflop thing, man. Dreamcast guy started that, and
And so many
everybody
people jumped
ran
on
with
that.
it. John Letterman and shout out
This,
Richard Ledbetter, Digital
the leaked
Foundry.
specs came out,
Yeah,
right?
the leak specs, and everybody face was so shocked reading that. And to me, I wasn't shocked at all. Um, I figured it was going to be something like this. And after playing a little bit of the base PS5 for a few weeks, probably about a month before getting that, I definitely will say it's needed. It's definitely needed. This is finally they finally have their equivalent to Xbox Series X. I know a lot of people is going to be like, "Oh, it's more powerful. It's more powerful." Me personally, I don't look at it like that. I look at it like I finally have PlayStation's version equivalent to an Xbox Series X. Um, I know that might be a take. People might look at it different. I'll explain more why I feel that way. And for the price, yes, it's very expensive, but something for me that went into the price was it being 2 terabytes
Hmm.
of storage. I appreciate that. I need that. The Series X with the 2 terabytes right now is 600. So that's only $100 more than what I would go get for a 2 terabyte Series X for 600 versus a PS5 Pro, the true PS5 for that seemed like a good price. So
Can I ask you, because I feel like the Galaxy Edition has a disk drive.
mhm.
Do you
Let's see.
do you think that for what you paid, just do you think you should have had the disk drive included with the
Me
PS5 Pro?
personally, I don't give a damn about digital,
I
and that
yeah.
I, they should have definitely. But I will say I might end up when it's all said and done, I might prefer this way as far as buying a disk drive because my Series X disk drive stopped working on me about a year into owning it. And never did anything with it. The disk drive just so I've been having bad, even back to the PS4 Pro. That's how I had the bad taste of Final Fantasy. I bought Final Fantasy 7 remake. I was having a good time. I got a good length into it, and the disk drive worked with every disc. The disc was spotless, and it just stopped working. So for me, I would if it was a way to detach and attach a disk drive to my current Series X, and here
You
right
would.
now the same way I could do that to a PS5, that would be dope. Uh, that'd be cool. Should have been included, definitely. Just like the little stand should have been included. But Sony been fucking people over all generation, and that's on you if you got fucked over. That's like I said. I think the whole base PS5 was a screw job when you compare it to the Series X. Like I said, the
Hmm.
storage alone, I'm like 600 usable gigs of storage in the next gen console is crazy. Um,
Yep.
just
So
like
you
even
came to
still
this
right now,
magical number and decided that this was what our hard drive size was going to be, and I was like, "What? Why didn't you just round it up to 1 terabyte?" Like,
exactly. Yo,
yeah.
Grizzly, I had the first digital Xbox, and look, me complaining about my disk drive would be something if it was just me. My homie Reese, all the way down in Georgia, shout out Reese. We be patrolling, playing and stuff, right? His disk drive stopped working, and he's careful with his electronics too. Panda, you went through multiple Series X's before you ended up. So it's a little stuff like that. I think that being able to switch and add it on later for me, I think that's cool. It's a shame that people are scalping it right now. What I am happy about, right, is the people who's trying to scalp the PS5 Pro is not having to sell it at a loss because it's not that high in demand.
I mean,
Um,
it's not sold out.
yeah,
Yep.
I did see a tweet earlier saying that it's selling better than the PS4 Pro did within the same timeline. Like I said, for me personally, I think it was worth it because I'm used to the simple things that the Xbox Series X does that people take advantage for. Even some shit that the
Mhm.
Pro still don't have, stuff like quick resume, right? But as far as enhancing my own game, like I said, I have over 100 digital games over here. Almost every PlayStation for quote unquote banger everybody talked about these ponies and shit. I played and beat all of that shit. PlayStation is part of my gaming pedigree, so that's why I laugh at the pony bot and saw fun in games. But I'm a gamer first and foremost, right? So I own plenty of digital games over there. And the base PS5 not upgrading and enhancing those games day one was a pure pass for me. Just the little things like I joke about the 1440p support not being there, the VRR support not being there day one. Like these are true next
RDNA
gen features. That
1.5.
RDNA 1.3. You know what I'm saying? Like 1.4. That shit being right there. So for the PS5 Pro to be what it is, I look at it like my Series X equivalent. Yeah, it's probably gonna be. I'm happy with the technology that's in there because, like I said, it's needed. I have played a few games. So I played Dragon Age the Veilguard, right? On the base PS5. This is why I say this console was needed, right? This is why my name is NextGenNero. I had to test this for the podcast. You guys get it up close and personal, the truth, man. No bullshit. On the PS5, that shit was blurry. FSR
Really?
on the PS5, it don't go good. It's a reason Sony had to do this and come up with their own.
Mm,
It's worse on PlayStation. It's not. That's
mm,
why I say PlayStation 5 is equivalent to the Series S in my eyes. You know, it didn't look good, but it still, don't get me wrong, it still looked good as hell. That's a good looking game. It looked good on the PS5, but I play on a monitor. Some people might play on a TV. I play in a monitor, front not too far from, it's right in front of me. So I see little things like, fizzle in the distance or just a blur in the distance. And I was like, that's not it. I can, confidently say that the PS5 cleans that up. I will say I feel like this is a better launch than the PS4 Pro because they have more games. I believe the PS4 Pro only had 40 PS4 Pro enhanced games when it launched, and I got that day one. Well, not day one, but year one. So
Would you say that this is getting worth getting day one, or worth waiting 6 months down the line to probably pick it up?
I say day one because everybody talks shit about Xbox, but every game that come out third party, you getting a better. Like you've been having the inferior console all gen. People might not want to admit it, but the Series X hasn't. That's why I say I want this generation to go on a little bit longer, guys, because these consoles hasn't fully been tapped into, and when they fully get tapped into, even in the future, that Series X is still going to be going blow for blow, even with the PS5 Pro. Like I
Mm,
said, PS5 Pro is needed because the PS5 is so weak. The Series X is not weak; it's not underpowered. So the Series X can hold its own. The Series S, that's another question. They're gonna struggle. So at that point, bring out a handheld too, maybe phase out the S. But the Series X has always been able to hold its own, and when they fully start tapping into all those full RDNA2 features that people tend to neglect, and our first party games is really going to show that. Doom is going to show that. Fable is going to show that. Gears is going to show that. And Unreal Engine 5 games always tend to run better on the Series X anyway. You
mm,
can't point to an Unreal Engine 5 game that runs better on PlayStation than it do Xbox. So to me, is it worth getting day one? If you're a hardcore gamer like me, yeah. But if you're just a casual gamer, you a PS5. The PS5, like I said, I look at it like the Series S. So everybody want to talk about, and this funny thing, everybody want to talk about the Series S and the Series X attachment rate, right? Like, oh, it's the Series S is outselling the X 5-1, bullshit numbers like that. It's 60 what, 64, 65 million PS5s out there. That's that's the PS5S, man. That shit really ain't it, man. Like I'm not backtracking on none of my joking and console warring I used to do about the Series X shitting on the PS5. That's still true. I just got to see it firsthand, guys. When I got my PS5 Slim, I got to see it firsthand. Don't get me wrong, the console is
no
good,
doubt.
and I'll say this, right? I will say this. I want to be fair. I will say this. I'm late. I finally get to give my full opinions on the PS5. I'm late into it, right? Series X got the better hardware, right? The better console in the hardware department, right? The better next gen hardware. But I would say the PS5 feels like a better next gen console because of the UI, the smoothness of the UI is very clutch. Outside of the quick resume, of course, that the Series X got that.
I'm
That's a huge dub.
I'm
But
gonna add
the
a little bit in
between
here.
the UI feel very smooth, and I would love for them to catch up on that. The capture system is a lot better than the Series X, and even the PS4. My PS4 Pro capture system was better than the Series X as far as being able to include your party audio and stuff like that. I feel like that's better. And then you throw in the DualSense, a true next gen controller. Now I'm not playing no shooters on my PlayStation besides stuff like Helldivers. I wouldn't really consider that since that's third person, right? Play stuff like that. Maybe First Descendant, stuff. But the Series X, man, that Xbox controller, wow, that's my baby. That's where all my competitiveness would be done. I couldn't imagine trying to play competitiveness with, them triggers. I know you can cut them off, but just, I don't know. I couldn't see that. But as far as single player shit, yeah, the user interface feels more next gen. The controller feel more next gen as far as the haptics and stuff like that. And That's about it. But as far as what's actually in the consoles, Series X, man. That's why no Series X owner shouldn't feel like they missing out on anything. Like I said, Series X is just having the PS5 Pro in front of me. Like I said, it just continue to shows me that the Series X is still a more next gen console. This is just the most next gen console I can get from PlayStation and having my library over here. But as far as like what it's doing and stuff, and I know people are gonna say that sound crazy, but talking about features between the base S, PS5 and then the Series X.
Mm.
But time will tell. We have to see how these devs utilize it. I know for a fact that the first party devs is gonna utilize the hell out of it. So I don't know if I think I had to reload the page, and that was before Soul came in. So I missed saying RIP to the legendary actor Tony Todd. He sadly passed away. I know you mentioned it earlier. Like I said, I had to reload the page. So I'm doing a new game plus. I already got the platinum for Spider-Man 2, but I need the last. It's one more trophy for completing the game on the new game plus. So the game looks good as fuck. It definitely looks better than what I on the PS5. The performance mode, having all the fidelity, ray tracing, and stuff like that at 60, that was definitely solid. They stuck to what they said in that aspect. But not every game is like that. You got your mixed bags. You say you don't got to make that choice between performance and fidelity, but here it is, still a bunch of modes that has performance and fidelity.
Mm.
But it's a caveat with that as well because even with Alan Wake, that performance mode is running at the PS5 and Series X quality settings. So it's like a mixed bag, man. It's very convoluted,
What are you
and then
giggling
like I
at?
feel like it was sloppy because a lot of the patches don't feel like they was live either. Day one. I know Gritty can attest to that. Like the Silent Hill 2 patch, I'm not sure if
Oh,
that's yet.
oh,
Oh man, what I miss?
That damn
Jesus!
far Q. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
Well,
Hey
the
man,
Sonic
I
one
missed
is
you.
fan fucking tastic. That Sonic one is
That
great.
How many?
Sonic one
Wait a
is
minute.
sick.
Wait
That
a minute. How
Sonic
many
one
did
is
he send?
diabolical.
I gotta see. I see the
Yo,
one. I saw one. Hey,
Oh,
dude,
you
you
might.
are
Oh,
wild.
that
oh, this
Hey,
is
is a
man.
sick.
soul one. Can I share
Man.
this to you? Fuck you. Can you send him the ones from earlier, please? Please, fuck you.
Yo, Far
Oh
Q, you
my
sick,
gosh,
man. He at it
dude,
again, man.
dude is crazy with it. Dude is crazy with it. Let me see.
Oh,
That's wild. I'm trying to send it so you
I
can.
like the soul one. Yeah, the soul one was good. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, fuck
I don't
you
have much to
added
say
again.
about
Okay,
that
you want to know what he
that
did? Okay,
that
because obviously
PS5.
he
Yeah.
hasn't.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll just quickly. This
Can
is
you
the
can you
Sonic one. I just
can
need
you
to.
can you
Yeah.
download it and put it up on the screen?
Uh,
Oh my
probably. I
god,
probably could. I
that's
probably
sick,
could.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. See if you can do that. Put them
See if
all
I
up
can
there if
just
you
sort
can,
my
so
life
so
out.
so the chat can see everything.
Yeah.
Far Q has been on it, man. Hey, I hope that you had a great vacation. We haven't had a chance to chop it up since before you went on holiday, and I hope you enjoyed every moment of it, man. You sounded like you were really excited about going over, so I was excited for you, and just haven't had a chance to catch you and chop it up with you, man, to see how everything went. But I'm glad to see that you're back, man. And you're doing some nasty work here with these this photoshopping or whatever, this digital whatever you're doing, man. It's some nasty work, but it's some good stuff, man. I love to see it. Keep it moving, man. Keep it working.
Okay, I need
Yeah.
to
Farq, you
adjust it
are
slightly.
talented, brother. The rise of P Lump. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Come on now. I Farq, you on P Lump, man. Come on, man. You can't don't step on a brother when he's down, man. You know what I mean? Oh, P Lump can't even get up and defend himself. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Farq. Farq, you're turning into a POS. A POS. Say, Nero, man, let me ask you a question. So can you walk us through your first time um when you squoze those haptics in and you were blowing on that controller? Can you tell us about your first time?
Never blew on a controller. That's fake
You
news.
know, did you?
That is fake news. I never blew into the controller.
Did you tickle it a little bit?
When I got to that part in Astrobot, I simply walked over to my fan, cut the fan on high, and that took care of that part. I continue to do that part, and those allegations is not
Oh my
true.
god!
Reese and
Oh
FarQ
my
continue to
god!
lie. Don't believe the fake news, man. That
Oh
did
my
not
gosh!
happen.
Hey, you know when I had that thing, man, I had the haptics on for maybe all of one gaming session with Horizon, and the first time I drew the bow back, I thought it was cool, but then it just didn't take with me because it just felt like it was too much for me. I just rather, pull my trigger and do what I got to do and keep it moving. I'm not trying to pull and, all of this, the tension. I don't need all that, man. But I can see how it could be really, really dope. I always said that I thought that the little touchpad was pretty cool, but I found that sometimes it would get in the way, and I'm clicking on it, and it was doing stuff, and I'm like, no, that's not what I want. So, but I thought it had some really cool features with that, man. I do like where they were going, and I didn't even use it in Returnal, which is a game that I really like. Truth be told,
So when you say
I
haptics, you're
don't, I
talking
don't
about the triggers?
for the haptics for the triggers, just for the triggers. I mean, I thought it was
Yeah.
cool with Horizon when she would draw the bow back, but it got a little irritating to me. And I think it's just because I wasn't used to it and I really didn't give it a chance.
No,
If I'm going to be
I
fair.
think it's kind of weak. I cut it off in
So
Spider-Man 2. For me, it's a game by game. It's a game by game
basis,
decision.
yeah. Okay.
In Silent
Okay.
Hill 2, I'm cutting it on. I want to feel like I'm
Okay.
pulling the trigger when I'm shooting.
Gotcha.
Resident Evil remakes, I leave it on. I want to feel like I'm
Okay.
shooting. Surprisingly, I thought I would cut it off for Helldivers 2, but
Hmm.
the triggers is very dope and immersive in there, so I'm leaving it on. But then, like I
Okay.
said, you got your other games, Ratchet and Clank, I cut it off. Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man as a whole, I cut it off. I don't really like it. Um, I don't believe it's owned by default in Veilguard, so I don't think. But I turn them off. It's cause sometimes, like I said, feel good shooting in Resident Evil and horror games and stuff like that. Like picked up the Callisto Protocol for the low, and that's going to be pro enhanced. So
Okay.
I love to see how that's
Okay.
going to feel swinging that melee, because melee in that game is very well done, and
All
even
right.
stuff like Dead Space, I would like to see that too. So I definitely
Are
would
we
go
ready
by
to see
game
all
by
the
game.
images? Does the chat want to see all the images?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Too much
All
hardware.
right.
Let's see what we got going on, Panda.
You see that?
Let's see this work.
listen,
Oh my gosh.
beautiful. People may laugh at me.
Oh my gosh.
People
Ah,
may call me a.
ah, ah,
People may
ah.
Fark
All
you. I
right.
think you got a pretty bad rep around here for no reason. That is some beautiful art. Look at that. Yo, that's
I love
fire.
it.
Come on, man. That's heat, yo.
Wait till you see the last one that
That's
I'm going to
heat, man.
show. A
I
Soul.
love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Okay. Returnal.
Hey,
Come on, man.
Returnal is a game
I
that
need that to get a pro
quietly
patch. I need
out
that to
of
get a pro
out
patch,
of
yo.
out of the PS4 and the PS5 games that could possibly come over, you know, seeing that Death Stranding has made its appearance, I actually kind of want Returnal to come over.
Wait, so did you like Ghost of Tsushima?
I did. I put it down though,
All right.
Okay.
but I liked it. I mean, I know
This
I
is my
really
favorite
liked
of
it.
Nero's.
It just
This
was
is
the
my
timing
favorite.
was, but and yeah,
So I was
that's
gonna ask you,
crazy.
missing out on Wolverine when it come. You ain't excited for Wolverine or the next Ghost game? Yeah.
Okay. If I go in order of comic book heroes
That
that are
Sonic is
like
sick,
my
by the
top,
way.
yeah, it is Spider
Sorry if
Man.
I went too fast.
Spidey is my guy, right? And then there's Wolverine, and then there's Batman. And so I'm excited, but just because it's Wolverine, I'm excited about what they can do. And there's some of the leak that I like, but there's a lot of stuff that I don't like what I saw, and hopefully it's more than what I saw, because there are some things that just I don't know. It's hard to say that I would not. I'm not going back. I don't. I'm not picking up a console for it. I'll build this PC because it's gonna go over there for
See, and that's
sure.
where we diverse. See, that's why I say fuck all y'all.
Last one.
Not really fuck
I'm
y'all, but most of
oh,
y'all
that's all
Xbox
good.
people, because since day one, I've been consistent. I am a console gamer, man. I've been anti-PC. I got beef with PC gamers, man. They be cheating. It's called aim down sights for a reason, because I shoot shit. And most of the shit I shoot, my whole life, they fucking cheat. Nobody on console growing up. I always wanted to play against my cousins who had a PlayStation, or if I had a PlayStation, my cousin who had an Xbox. No console player on earth asked to play with PC people. That shit has been forced upon us. That's why skill-based matchmaking is taking over, because you guys want to run around, flick your little pussy mouse and keyboard all around for no reason, looking silly. You know what I'm saying? So I don't do the PC. I'm a strictly console gamer. So when you a strictly console gamer like I am, you gotta have a PS5. You gotta have a Series console. You gotta have a Switch too. So I'm gonna have the big three. But to all you PC people, you Xbox people are secretly PC people. Retro, I found that out the hard way. Retro, you listening? You PC son of a bitch. Shout out Retro, man. He was trying to get me behind the scenes for the long. I said, nah, I ain't folding, man. I'm a console, man. And I do work on the PC, but gaming, nah, man. Console, man. Team console, man. Team console.
Yeah,
But yeah, go ahead, build
I don't see
your
myself
PC,
going.
man. I go ahead, build your PC, man. You know
I don't think I can't see myself going back for one game. Nah, if my one game
So, do you have a
console,
digital library on PlayStation? Like,
no. I skipped the 4. I skipped the 4
okay,
gen.
all right,
So
okay.
it's
So
easy for
that
me to
makes
say
sense.
no.
That makes sense.
No.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Oh man, if I was knee deep like
Yeah, I definitely didn't skip the
Xbox,
4K.
then yeah, that would be it. Man, the digital games that I got were the ones that I bought when I got the 5. And so I mean, did I hate to see them go in a
Abdel,
sense?
facts,
But nah.
Abdel, facts, yo. He said, I wanted Retri's Pawns and Dragon's Dogma, but turned out he was playing on PC. Facts, and we couldn't get his pawn. Facts, man. That's a fact, yo. Shout out to Retri, man. Shout out to Dragon's Dogma, too, man.
So, yeah, man.
This one up, Dal?
That's it. I couldn't go back.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Were you, Soul, back on the PlayStation 4 stuff? Because I got sidetracked by those images. Oh, PlayStation 4. PlayStation 5 Pro. Were you surprised by the specs, knowing that what had been rumored or anything that had been happening around the discourse within the community as a whole around the PS5 Pro versus what was actually confirmed as specs? No. You much of a spec guy?
No,
I'm stoned. I can't even sentence, guys. It's fine.
I'm not a spec guy at all. I was, on one hand, I can't say that I was surprised. I would put it like this: I wasn't surprised that the community didn't know shit, because the community rarely knows all this shit. It's a lot of console warring back and forth stuff until everything is actually out.
Okay, he did.
So it is. I wasn't surprised about that. But I would say this: when you saw the specs and everything, I'm thinking to myself, like, was this another money grab, or are they in a place where they really were just that far behind as far as the hardware is concerned? Because here we are, not but a few more years out of this generation, and they're going to have this for another 10, they said, something like that. And so what's going to happen in 2026 when Xbox probably drops another console, a next gen, and we're probably going to see the handheld next year? I doubt if they release it and then, unless it just becomes an upgrade, like your cell phone.
Let me ask
So
you,
I doubt if we get a
2026. Because I personally feel like we don't need next-gen consoles that soon.
No.
I don't think they'll drop one that soon either.
But, Nero, I think they want to line it up with maybe Halo's anniversary.
Yeah, Halo's anniversary. We're talking about Gears. I mean, can you imagine what their 2026 lineup could be like? Halo itself. I mean, I'm excited about it. And the way you keep ranting and raving about the third person perspective, I haven't had a chance to check it out. And that's what I
You a
want to get into.
gamer?
But
No, I'm kidding.
I really want to. Hey man, look here.
I'm
Family is
teasing.
everything, and so I no, I know that, but it's just really hard when you gotta, you gotta divvy up that time, and
I
that's
know.
why I'm up late at night, always trying to get my game in, and then I'm falling asleep with my damn controllers in my hand, and so controller in my
I
hand,
feel
and
ya.
yeah, that's been rough, especially here
Oh
lately.
damn,
I
that'll
mean, it's been so damn rough, y'all. Chat, I'm gonna tell you.
no
I,
down.
I'm really considering going to the doctor and seeing about some TRT. You know what I'm saying? Your boy got to get his energy back. My levels are low. I don't know what the deal is, y'all. Wait till you get here. You'll understand. Enjoy your youth while you have it. But yeah, it's tough getting in some good gaming. But the family's out of town, so my goal is to get some in this weekend. I'm ready. I got my energy drink. I'll be up tonight, baby. I'll be
Done.
sleeping in
Sir.
15 minutes.
All right.
I'll be
Say
sleeping
goodbye
in
to
15
say
minutes.
goodbye to Nero.
Where's Nero going? Oh, okay.
You're like, what's happening with him? Okay. I think previous episode, I did some math and listened to what they announced on
You did some Dreamcast guy? You did some meth or some math?
math? Not meth. I did not do meth. Math? It's my accent, okay? It's like how if I tried to say the word of like if you were standing out. No, I can't even say it because then everyone's going to shoot I said that word. So we're just going to leave it. It's my accent. Just blame my accent. And
Meth. I did meth.
math, and then there's myth. Probably have no idea if I'm saying it any different.
So it's crazy because your myth sounds like myth. It's a mythological dragon.
It's because our E's kind of sound a little bit like I's and stuff. Yeah, it's our accent, and it's probably worse because I'm stoned. But I did some math. Probably still sounds like myth. And I used, from what I knew about the specs from the PS5 base unit, and I went up and I worked out what it was for like 45% extra, whatever it was, and all the other stuff. And I worked out that, but if you listen to the marketing when they announce this and you do your 45% of what it currently is, you end up at like 33.3 teraflops. Which is why when they announced it and they put 45% such and such, I was like, all right, I'm going to check this. I did not think they were going to do 33.3 teraflops 1 second. And so that marketing always felt misleading. And the fact that they hadn't released the specs up until the point where you only got the specs of the unit in the packaging of the console when you opened it just made me really think, like, if they had nothing to hide, why didn't they just say the stats? Why were they trying to, I guess, I know everyone probably is aware of this. I thought the PS5 Pro reveal was underwhelming and pointless. And so I really wanted those specs because I like PCs. I'm a bit of a tech head. And as soon as it was 16.7, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. 100% makes sense. I agree with Nero on one point, whereas this, I probably would have been 16 teraflops, but if they'd actually just pushed to like 10 without overclocking or 11 just by itself, that should have been where it needed to be for the console. I still think the fact that the CPU is what it is, there's going to be a bottleneck and you're going to be still saddled with the 30 FPS games.
They did do something with the CPU. It's very minor. I don't know if it's a boost or something, but in the Digital Foundry comparisons, where games is really CPU demanding, they was seeing about 5 to 10 more frames. I know that don't sound like much, and it's really not. And they definitely should have did something with the CPU, I believe. But that is just something worth noting. Because even in games like Wukong, that's not officially pro patched.
So they have, from my understanding, they've put something in there so the systems can kind of it can push a little bit extra than it did previously. Kind of like how Xbox built it in for like older games to kind of do that and recognize some things. But unlike, and this
It's
is where my
pretty
thing
much
is,
just playing catch up to the Series X too. Pretty much.
well,
Is my take.
it is. They're
Anybody
now
take
surpassing it
anything
on the. They're
away?
now surpassing it on the teraflop amount, right? My thing here though is they should have done something with that CPU. They really should have done something slightly more with it. But I don't know necessarily think that
But
way
that's the
because it was
thing.
already blocked when it was at 10.3 teraflops, right?
If PSSR is
Running
as
in
good as
higher
they
hertz.
wanting it to be, like if they can depend on PSSR the way they are banking on it, right? They're
No, so
really
this is
banking on it.
I'm not
So
talking about the PS. This is my argument here. I haven't got to it yet. Sorry, taking a while. Is the difference between the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X last gen was, yes, the teraflops, but they were both Jaguar CPUs, like a Jaguar unit in there for the CPUs. The One X actually pushed the CPU and overclocked it a little bit more than it was on the base units. And that's what I think they should have done with this, is just push your CPU out slightly more so that if there is a little bit of errors where it's like it could get to 60, but it's never going to be solid unless we just push it a little bit more, and that's your bottleneck. They should have just done that. That's my opinion. Is the One X did that, and it was a smarter move because it performed better overall and they could hit more of what they were wanting to hit. And the Pro should have done that slightly with their CPU just so they could push it a little bit more and give it a lot more of an edge, because the fact that in some scenes, and I understand why, because they're pushing more on the GPU, that the frame rates were higher on the PS5 base unit versus what was on the Pro. The only reason why you're seeing that was able to be slightly higher would have been because of the CPU side of things. Because it isn't a GPU bottleneck at that point. It'll be a CPU side of things because they're pushing the power of the GPU, but in order to push those frames, the CPU hasn't adjusted to push that slightly more. That's my thing. I understand, like, we've got FSR, you've got the Kraken with the decompression, now they've got the PSSR version, which is the AI upscaling, so that will help in a lot of cases. But for games that can't take advantage of that, it's not going to help for them, which is why I wish they'd kind of slightly
it
adjust.
will be interesting to see, because every game going forward is mandated by Sony. Like, in order to even be on the
Every
PS5,
game that
it has
they
to
own
be.
is mandated by them.
I think games in general, if you come in, you have to acknowledge the Pro and enhance your games, right? Or was it just for first party? I thought that was like
They'll
something that was
probably
said.
incentivize it.
Yeah.
And they'll probably, which is going to be things for them, like any second party or third party deals, definitely should be taking full advantage. But you've got no control of indie devs, so that mandate wouldn't work on them. Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see as time goes on. It's all up to the devs anyway, because like I said, I don't believe the Series X has fully been tapped into.
I
No.
don't believe it has either. I 100% don't
The
believe it's
PS5 been
fully
tapping
taken
out since
advantage
day
of.
one. So, but
I also think it's going to be nice to see, like, when they fully don't make any games for previous hardware, because you've got the fact that then they can, if they build a game up from the ground up, they can take advantage of the multi-threading in the CPUs rather than have to go, can we get it to run on both? So there's a bit of things that, a bit more advantages of just not being held back by last gen. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that are still not fully being taken advantage of. Yeah. All right. I know, right? My brain is just fucked. I'm just fucked. I also wanted to kind of just discuss, because it's been already discussed in chat. I've been watching it go up in chat way earlier. Just we got sales figures on Astrobot, um, and the sales figures announced that it was 1.5 million consoles sold to date. It hasn't been out for too long, so obviously these sales are going to change given time. But people are looking at the attachment rate in this respect. It's been announced 65 million consoles shipped to date. So it's not sold, it's shipped. And then if you look at a game that, from what I understand, has been rumored and hasn't, like some insiders were talking about it, was this game was always intended to be on the PS5 Pro and launch with that console. And so last minute they changed it and said, let's sell it. And is anyone surprised by the sales figures currently? Like, I saw a lot of discourse happening in the chat. I'm gonna throw to Soul to start it off, because I know you came in and go like, let's talk Astrobot numbers.
No, numbers no, but but Astrobot itself, like I was having a little discourse with the chat. You know, Astrobot has always been a pack in, and even though it was a full game, right? Growing up, full games used to come as pack ins, and I think this was just a pack in that they had to pull out, right? Because Concord, yeah, I know,
He said it, not me.
I know.
Okay. He just saw me grin probably with my reaction.
I, I, I did. I did. I tell you,
Oh.
you are something else. So, I lost my complete train of thought. When I said it, it was like, and then I saw your reaction, and I'm like, now I can't even focus. So
Don't worry,
I
I
felt
fucking
like
forgotten what you said too.
they put. I can't even say it now. They took the game out.
Yep.
After Concord. I think they were like, oh, we got to take this out. I think they had a contingency plan like, oh, look, if some things don't go right, we can always just, and just go ahead and sell it. With all the consoles that they have out there, you would think the sales would be a lot higher. It looked like a fun game. It looked like a good game. The folks who played it, they liked it. They enjoyed it. I saw some cool things that would have been, I can't say super exciting to play because I've kind of been there, done that from what I saw, not what I played with Mario. And it was good for those folks over there who don't get a chance to play platformers like that. And
Yeah.
it was refreshing for a lot of Sony fans to see a lot of nostalgia with the bots. And so,
Mm.
I think it was cool, but I still feel like it was probably not meant to be pushed out there in that way because it was really just like a surprise. No build up, no nothing. And, Astrobot seems like it could be a mascot for Sony, because who's the mascot right now? Aloy?
Yes, I think that's who they've got.
I
I
think that's
think
who they've
Tryhard
got.
asking a pretty good question right there.
What makes Astrobot a pack-in and not a regular game?
I mean,
I mean,
the original Mario was a pack in. Most Marios were pack ins back in the day. There
I'm
are so
gonna
many
say
different games that are pack ins. Pack in is just. I think people are looking at pack in, and even the way I'm saying it is like it's a negative thing. Pack ins can they
sell
do
consoles.
they sell consoles. They can be the catalyst for a sale. You can walk by and you can see it, say, hey, I've been thinking about this game. Well, the game is it's in here. How
Well, it's
much
an
is it?
incentive,
400,
right?
500.
To pick
Yeah, it's
that
an
version
incentive.
up. Yeah.
So yeah, it's not like pack-ins are shit games. So a pack-in is a pack-in. I just don't think they meant to sell it like for retail like they would Horizon or God of War or Ghost or anything else like that. So yeah, pack-in comes with
Yeah, games that come
the
with the
console.
console. Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many games that have been pack-ins over the year.
Like, I
Wonderful
got
games.
Lego Batman,
So
and I got
yeah,
Cure
wonderful
on my
games.
360.
I wish
Yeah.
they packed more games in. I used to love when they packed. That was an incentive to buy the damn console. Or you at least, if you didn't get it like that, you walk by and you're like, well, shit, I wish I would have bought that one that had the game in there. So
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on how it's used in context. But I've tried hard fan. I don't think it's about the content, my man, or my girl, my dude, my guy, my girl. I don't think it's about the content. I think it was just going to be a pack in and not something that they were going to sell, at retail. That's where I'm going with it. So
I
that's where
always
I'm taking it. Not
thought
so
it would
much
have
as
been
it
a
was going to be a shit game.
cool incentive to go, here's the pro, and you want to play
Yeah.
the next iteration of Astrobot's
Yeah.
story. If you pick this up, you get to play it free. I think they still would have sold it to the people on PS5 by itself who weren't upgrading,
Yeah.
because they have all the same stuff. But I think the people who upgraded to the pro would have got that in there, and that would have made the $700 price tag more palatable.
Yeah. Oh, and try hard. Think of it this way. I think, with that last post you did there, uh you're looking at Astrobot being like not a full game. And so in your mind, maybe that's where you're getting it's a pack in, it's not a full game. And so, you would be right in that sense. But I think Astrobot, of course, it's always seemed to be that thing to let Sony consumers know here is where we're taking our technology. And Astrobot is going to show you what we can do. And because if you think about it, he's kind of been a catalyst for everything that's kind of been new over the last, generation or so, as being
Yeah.
a pack-in or being a virtual game and all these different things like that. So it's not a negative, in that aspect. I just don't think they were going to sell it like that. So yeah,
Mm.
yeah. If you want to look at it like that, then yeah, it would absolutely that would then the pack-in would be like the not full game or whatnot. But I wish they would get back to pack-ins on the Xbox side, but now the pack-in is Game Pass for 3 months or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's what it
I
is.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it is. That's what the pack-in on Xbox is right now. But I wish they would throw in a couple of digital codes or something like that. I mean, for the incentive to go ahead
That would
and
have been
put that
nice for
cash
sure.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
plus the
yeah.
I think
game, yeah.
Astro's Playroom is really dope. I'm actually gonna try to get the
It's a
platinum
fantastic game.
for that
Yeah,
before I
I
even.
liked
Great
when I picked
experience.
up the
Yeah.
5, I played it a little bit and I thought this was a pretty damn cool way to introduce this new controller, what it can do, how you can use it, and this is what you're going to see in our future games. And I think they did a really good job with the last iteration before this game came out.
Yeah.
So
'Cause I feel like Knack was a little bit like what they were trying to do with that
mm-hmm.
from in the PS4 generation, but that one, it just didn't seem to connect the way Astrobot does. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Um,
Um,
Nero, what are your thoughts on the sales figures for Astrobot?
Definitely should have been Sonic Generations, and I get it. It's a big game, multi-platform. Did 1 million in a day, so I was hoping for about 2, 3. You know, maybe 4, 5. With the attachment rate. As many consoles as out there as people brag, but you know, like Tryhard said, you don't need to break. You just need to be successful. I think it's a really dope game, and I
I
hope.
think it's gonna be successful eventually. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think Sony might even look at it like a success now. Let's just say it was something they was going to include in the pro, like we all said they should have done. They could have included it in the pro, right? Let's just say they could have done that, but instead they say, "Yo, we're gonna release and sell it." So 1.5, as long as I mean, it depends on the development as well.
Yeah.
Let's what if it had similar budget to something like Hellblade, something that's not breaking the bank.
Hmm.
It seems like it's a really good game from everybody that I trust that played it. Um, a lot of content there, and I can just see from playing Astro's Playroom on my PlayStation that I can see I can see it. Like when I play it, I'm like, okay, I can see what people be talking about. I can see why Astro Bot would be, successful and sought after. But for the amount of PlayStation 5s that's out there, the sales didn't really, equate to what it should. And it only rings the question of Sony, you got to start putting maybe these games in PlayStation Plus and Premium. Maybe day and date, certain
As
games start.
incentive.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
Yeah.
man.
honest. I feel like the marketing of the Astrobot game felt like it was, and the reason why I think I agree, like it was packed in. When I watched that trailer, it felt like they were just selling you a PS5, not selling me on this game. And so that's why I also agree it was a pack in, and I feel like they really need to market it
Mm-hmm.
a bit better, um, in order for people to realize that it's not like the original one, which was a bit of a tech demo, of what the PS5 is capable of. Um, People are talking about attachment rates. Nero, did I cut you off?
Nah, not really, but I do got a final point I would like to make. This just
I
goes
will
to
let you get
show
it. I will let you get
Astrobot
it because I want to
sales
talk.
and the situation that happened with Hi-Fi Rush just to goes to show that people beg the industry, hey, we want different games, we want unique games, we tired of the Call of Duties, we tired of the Fortnites, man. Hey, we tired of this third person over the shoulder walking simulators and stuff like that. We want something different. Every time something different come, people don't support it.
Yeah,
It's just that's a fact. Hi-Fi didn't only flop financial. I mean, sale wise on Xbox, it came over to PlayStation, got ported over here, and motherfuckers didn't buy it over here either. So it's like, what are we doing here? And then you see Astrobot numbers.
supporting the
I'm,
devs
I'm actually
clearly.
I'm actually happy that it's 1.5 million. Maybe if you do a steep sale, maybe instead of 60 on Black Friday, you drop it down to 50, 40, something not even 50, drop it low, 30, something reasonable. I think,
Cons-
you got potential to maybe try to double those sales before the year is up, but
like a
people just
50%
don't
sale
support
on
these
it
games, man.
minimum.
And
Yeah,
they've been bringing free DLC with it, which is dope as well.
yeah,
Weekly DLC. So
which
sometimes
is
it's like gamers don't know
really
what
good.
they want.
Hmm.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Just look
Um,
at Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I gotta throw that in there too. Another game that's fantastic, but
Yeah.
just didn't sell well. Wasn't supported.
yeah,
Nope.
yeah.
People laugh now and then cry later. That's why I said I
Mm.
gotta put the console war down because no matter the platform you want to, unless you Nintendo the only fan base that's going out here supporting they games at a high number. And I get it, times it's hard, but Hi-Fi Rush definitely deserve better. Astro Bot, I'm happy he's doing good. Whenever they consider it a success, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're not spending a lot, just like Hellblade. I'm sure Hellblade didn't have to sell 3, 4, 2 million, within the first couple months to be successful because you're not breaking the bank with those budgets. So, I would like to know what the budget for Astrobot was. But if it was going to be a packed in game, as we call it, then it can't be causing that much, right?
No, but I wonder what the internal expectation was, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and if it hit it, and and if it didn't, what does that mean
Got
for
physical
not?
copies, right?
Yeah, I mean, what does that mean for Astrobot moving forward? Again, I like Astrobot as a mascot. I think it's really cool. I think they can do some wonderful things with it, And I hope, and I was, with the chat earlier. I hope they do move forward with Astrobot. I'm wondering if it hit expectations, and will it turn into a hi-fi rush situation, right? Not so much as that the dev team and everything is gone like that, but what I mean is it something that they may not invest in any moving forward? And I would hate that because I'm not gonna lie, when Hi-Fi Rush dropped, I was thinking like, yo, this is like another little mascot for Xbox. They could bring this in. There's so many things you can do with it. It's a cartoon. It looks like a cartoon. I mean, it was beautiful, right? And I'm thinking like, man, this is a Saturday morning cartoon. This is a throwback to the 80s, right? And they can do a lot. They could do a lot with this. So I hope
Yeah.
that this is not going to be I hate to sound all doom and gloom for Astrobot, but I just hope it's not the last time we see Astrobot, even though they're probably going to continue with the DLC. But what are they going to do, like Panda said, to market it, to move it forward beyond the people who've already bought the game? So if it doesn't go on a live service, or if they don't really push it forward, I just don't know how many more sales is going to jump up to get to hit like maybe 5 or 10, where they probably that could be a 5 or that could
I
be a
mean,
$10 million
well,
game.
there's
I
still
think
at
it
least
could
4
be, to
years
be
left
honest.
of this generation, right? It could
Yeah,
get to
yeah, yeah.
5 to 10. Um, yeah. I guess
So
my thing is with this, for a game like this, I do think that we're probably going to see sales jump over the Christmas holiday
the break,
period
yeah,
because people are going to buy that and give it as presents. But for the amount of console gamers already out there, there might be some who, obviously there are some who can't choose what games their parents buy them, etc., etc., and so they can't purchase it. So you're never going to look at 100% of an attachment rate for a game. And so the games that are really successful, that have good attachment rate, because every everybody has their own individual preferences about the games they like. So out of the 5 games that might release in a year, I might only like 2 of them. I won't even look at the other 3, for example. And I think that's the same with like sales figures when you're looking at a big console share. Is like, out of the 60 million people, we're only expecting 15 to 20 million people to potentially pick up this game, because these people like this type of game, so that's sales. Whereas the other whatever 40 million have never tried that game, aren't interested in that game, so they're never going to get a sale out of it. But to be 1.5, I know it's still early, but it was a little bit shocking, just the way the media. I guess the reviews are different. Like we're stuck in the here,
yeah,
and we hear a lot of a bit of an echo chamber and all this stuff, and so there seemed to be a lot of energy around that. But outside of our very our dedicated gaming community, it's not like that, and it wasn't. It just That's why I talked about the PlayStation needed to do better marketing, because it obviously didn't get out really outside the dedicated fan base that is there, who are going to be there day one every time for their games. And I feel like that is happening a lot if we're looking at, because we saw other sales figures from games, and there were other sales figures. Like, I can see why they have not done like a Bloodborne remaster, remake, or I
Mm-hmm.
can't see why they don't port it to
They don't
PC
buy
though.
games,
Like,
man. They don't
because
support the
the
games.
sales figures for that game on the PS4 when that came out, and this is where the Astrobot sales came out from, about units sold. I was shocked that it was like 1 million units. The amount of people who talk about that game and love that game, and so on and so forth. And PS4 was such a massive generation with so many people there. People, I don't know what it is. Nintendo gamers support their games. People on Game Pass support games. Okay, but there are only very minimal games that the casual base that own a PlayStation ever support, and you can tell by the sales figures. Yeah, you just can. It's kind of sad. Real gamers play lots of games, lots of different types. I was just shocked.
yeah.
Yeah, I
You
think
brought up
Yeah,
the
Bloodborne.
service,
definitely
the
embarrassing,
service that
man.
hasn't sold more. Sorry,
Hey, you
Phil.
Definitely
brought up
disappointing.
no, because I interrupted. I'm sorry. You brought up a Bloodborne, and I'm wondering now who owns that? Does Sony own that IP?
I think that's
Yes,
from
that's
Soft.
their studio. Oh, are you talking about Bloodborne?
Bloodborne. That's FromSoft, right?
That's
I
from
believe
Soft.
so.
I think
But
PlayStation owns that IP.
because I was just wondering if we're gonna get like a Kojima situation where he's like,
You
hey,
could see that happen.
well, I mean, just because I think Bloodborne.
Talk about
I
it.
remember that was a game that actually got my attention, and I thought about picking up the console when it dropped, just because of the aesthetics of the game, not gameplay, aesthetics. Just looking at it, and then when I saw gameplay, I'm thinking like, "Oh, this is interesting. I might get into this." I mean, hindsight, I'm glad I didn't, because I would have probably broken a controller behind that bullshit, right? But I think that would be a game I think that's a worthy remaster, and not all this other stuff that they have been doing as of late. And I
100%.
really would have loved to see that.
Release it on PC day one as well.
But they need to go ahead and get that thing on PC. And oh, look here, they need to
They should
get
just
that on
push it
PC.
to Xbox too.
Everywhere. That's all I was gonna say. They need to go ahead and push it, because at this point in time, I don't understand what they're doing. Get your money. You're leaving money on the table. Nobody is coming to PlayStation anymore for Bloodborne, for that old game. So why are you holding on to it? Man, introduce that to the world. Get that out there. PC, get it on Xbox, get it everywhere. Everywhere, and watch it. It's gonna do okay. It's gonna do fine. That's more money in. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
they got to get this together, man. I don't know what they're doing over there on that side, man. I'm kind of baffled by for Sony, by Sony and what they're doing. I mean, this just doesn't. We're not used to this. We're used to them looking pretty strong, but maybe it's
We're
how
used
we
to them
receive all this
shoving
information
sales
now.
figures down our
Well,
throats.
true, and they don't do that anymore.
And they don't do it anymore. And I'm like, when is it going to happen? Because
You,
it felt like a cocky, look what we've done sort of boastful moment. And
yeah.
that's what I'm used to with Sony. And
Well, you
we're
know
not
what
getting
happened?
it.
You know what happened, Panda? In chat and Nero?
No kidding.
ABK.
Bethesda as well. Don't forget that one.
Let,
ZeniMax, sorry.
let me tell you.
ZeniMax.
Well, I mean the trial. The trial really lifted the veil. And you
That is
got to
true.
see a lot of what goes on financially. And you're like, oh, wow. Okay. Now things make a little bit more sense.
You
Uh-huh.
got to see some underhanded practices.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
yeah,
fact
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that
We really
people
do.
wanted to keep people out of business from day one. And like,
Yeah.
you talk about how competition's king.
Well, yeah,
Um,
but we'll see.
yeah. Nero. Anything else you want to add? Or would you like to talk about
Uh,
Death Stranding coming to...
yeah, I'd definitely rather talk about Death Stranding. I think Death Stranding will sell more than 1.5 million copies on Xbox. Hot take. Well, we
Hot
can't never
take.
see the sales, but I think it will sell well, especially for the price that it is. Shout out to Kojima, and also shout out to Sony and Microsoft both for selling him and letting him buy his IPs. Like this is not he also owned the rights to OD, so that might be launching on both platforms, or maybe he'll let them keep their exclusivity time. But that's really good, man. Death Stranding is a really dope game, man. I spent a lot of time on that game on my PlayStation 4 Pro. Haven't even played it on the PlayStation yet. Hopefully that get a pro patch as well. But I would love to get back into that. But all the Xbox homies, man, for $19, yo, that's a thing.
50% off.
Yeah.
Insane.
That is how
That's a
you
good deal.
shadow drop a fucking game. 50% off.
Yeah. That's how you do it. They
It's a
almost
unique
got me.
game, man. It's literally nothing like it, yo. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I might pick it up. $20. You can't beat that. You know what I mean? Can't can't far cube, man. You are crazy. I was looking at those pictures again. That's wild. Uh yeah, man. What are you delivering in? Pizzas and shit in space?
Nah, man. I mean, that's look.
I mean,
You're like a
once he added like the
you're like a
delicious
courier,
pattern, it
right?
was a
You're a
lot more.
courier.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
A
Kojima, man.
I
I'll
can't
say
even
this: if
pronounce it.
you're a fan of
It's
Kojima, man, then check this out. It's no way to describe Death Stranding, man. It's very unique. It's just very different, man. It's
it's
very immersive. When those cameras pan out and that music is hitting, and you see that vista, man,
Well,
it's
my,
just
my
nothing like it.
cousin bought it when it came out. He was like, "Yo, you got to get this, man. This is your type of game." And I'm over here like, "Okay, I guess." And then when I saw some gameplay, I'm like,
don't think this is my type of game.
I don't know. I don't know if it's my type of game. I said, man, but this is a beautiful looking game. It amazing. But I don't know, man. I mean, you run around with a box on your back, right? With the kung fu grip, kicking rocks at people. I don't
Okay,
know,
all
man.
right. Well, so what was your reaction to this when you saw the news? Because I woke up and I was like, "Wait a second, what?" But yeah, what was your reaction?
My reaction to
Death Stranding going to console because it was already on PC Game
yeah,
Pass.
it
So if
was.
you owned a PC, you had access to Game Pass. It already had Xbox achievements because that's all in part of the Game Pass experience if you're part of that ecosystem. But yeah, what were your thoughts about it actually coming to console?
I when I saw it, I mean, I immediately sent a DM to someone, and I was just like, "Hey, yo, the whole slate, baby," because that's like a little inside joke. But I was surprised. I who would have thunk it? But
Yeah,
hell, who would have thought Horizon was going to go to the Switch? I mean, even though it's a Lego game, and it looks okay. I
it
don't know
looks
if I should say
good. It
it
looks
or
better than the
I don't know
sorry,
if I
not
should.
graphically,
It
but
looks pretty damn good. It looks pretty damn cool. And watch her have all the charm in the world. And I'm not just saying that because that was a thing to say, but actually,
Lego
she just
characters do, right?
yeah, they do, and it's crazy because in the actual games, the original games, Aloy could be a really dope character, but that writing for her is just oh my
I mean,
gosh.
Lego games, if you don't like a Lego game, you're missing out. I'm just thinking of like Pharrell Williams bio movie
Yeah.
is all
Did it
in
come out yet?
Legos. I don't think it's out yet, but I'm like, it's in Legos, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. You watch the trailer, you're like, yeah, I see. This is actually quite good. I'm
Yeah.
so excited to watch that.
I
Yeah,
mean, I'm probably going to get it on the Switch.
Lego.
I mean, I'm not even gonna
Horizon.
act like I'm buying it for my daughter. Hey, babe, you think you might want Lego Horizon? No, I'm not gonna. She's gonna be like,
I
no,
will
I'm
probably
playing
pick it up on my
Roblox.
Switch, to be
Yeah,
honest. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't see why I
I'm
wouldn't.
sure I'm going to get it. I'm sure I'm going to get it. I mean, I saw a little trailer or something
And
today,
this
and I
will be
thought it
me
looked so
just
cool.
going playing with
I just want to
Aloy's
say
character, not on an
if
Xbox.
y'all
I mean,
buy
not on the
Lego
PlayStation.
Horizon, then I don't want to get judged for buying Horizon Forbidden West or the remake just to test it out on the Pro and give it a second chance. If
Mm,
y'all buy that Lego shit, I don't want to hear it.
Hey,
Hey man, hey,
but
look here,
you
man.
need to try that
Don't.
Lego shit. You'll be like,
No, fuck
shout out
no.
to the Lego Aloy because she's got like
Nah,
10 times more personality
nah.
than
Yeah.
actual.
Hey
I'm
man,
gonna let the
have you
graphics
played
be the
like the Lego Star
personality.
Wars games? Like,
Yeah, those
Oh,
is
he's got
different.
full pony bot. He's got full pony bot.
yeah, I know you, man.
I'm
You,
gonna let
hey
the
man,
graphics
don't.
be her
Hey,
personality.
hey,
Yeah,
hey, Nero, brother. Look, we love you, man,
I'm gonna
but
let that new
you ain't
remake Luxus HDR and cloud system and
you.
volumetric lighting that John Lennon be talking about. I'm gonna say, damn, man. As I
Yeah.
walk around and them fucking squishy ass robots, I'm gonna say to myself, damn, Aloy got hella aura.
Hey, I mean, it's gonna look beautiful, man. It's gonna play well. You'll like it. You played it, right?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of first one.
Okay. I couldn't even get into the second one, but it was the mine was buggy. So once it got to a part and it just kept kind of I was like, okay, I'm good. And then I put it down. The first one I dug. Um I like the tension between her and gosh dog it. My man who passed away this like a year or so ago.
Mm-hmm. I know what
I
you're
like
talking
the
about.
tension between those two. I thought it was pretty good. I wish they could have played up on it a little bit more in that story, but it was a long story. But I just liked the game. There was a lot of things that I liked about it. You know, uh, I didn't really get into the second one, so I can't tell you how good or how I can't compare them because once I put it down, I never went back. But she was dry the whole time, and I would have liked to. I wish they would have done something different with her. Not to saying that she was supposed to play the happy woman role or anything like that. Oh,
Yeah.
life is good. No, but I just felt like how when they brought Laura Kraft back, and
Yeah.
we got the trilogy. You know,
Oh,
um,
the
the Tomb
2013,
Raider. Well,
the
we just
Rise, and then Shadow. Yeah. That's so fucking good.
Aloy had that potential to like kind of be that character, even though that Laura Croft was so far up her ass, you know. But something about her I still liked, you know, and the
It
fact
was
that at
just a
times
rare end, right? No, I'm kidding. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
she felt some kind of way like, yo, you know, it was just different, and it wasn't like the
Yes,
pixelated
yes. Yeah.
TNA. You know what I mean?
He's calling you
I
out on
call it
your
Laura Craft.
pronunciation.
Yeah, I know. Something might be
Lara
kicking in. Shit.
Croft?
Yeah, meth.
Lara
That's it.
Croft.
I said, all right, you got me. Okay, man. Hey, yeah, I did say craft, didn't I? Laura
Yes.
Croft.
But I knew who you were talking about.
I
Someone else in
know.
the chat had to call it. I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to be mean and be like, what do you
That's
say?
all good. No, I would have called it out. You're supposed to call me out
No,
on shit
we had
like
this
that.
great moment
No,
because I
no,
knew
it's
someone
all
else would
good.
hear it
It's
and
all good.
call you on it.
Speaking of Laura Craft, the Tomb Raider anime that was on Netflix, it wasn't bad. It was okay. It was okay. It was okay. Did you guys watch it?
No, I heard mixed reactions on it. I haven't
I
watched it
mean,
myself.
it's it's I'm laughing at the chat. Yeah, it was okay. It was cool. It wasn't no Vox Machina. That shit was fired this last season.
Yep.
It's not that. You know, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. They have a King Kong anime that's on Netflix that was actually pretty dope. Came out about a year ago. That was better than the
I'm
Tomb Raider
only
show. But
wanting to watch Arcane Season 2.
ooh, I'm so ready for it.
Yeah. So
I'm so
fucking
ready
good.
for that right there.
If you haven't
Yeah,
watched Arcane Season 1, watch it. Season 2's like almost here.
yeah. So I'm ready for that. You know what I mean?
All right. So Death Stranding,
Funny.
director's cut, very quickly, just to add a little bit of context onto that, is um Hideo Kojima announced that they now own the IP from and they bought it off back from Sony, or they bought the rest of it from Sony. I guess they had what 50-50 rights, maybe, who knows. And this announcement came on the 5th anniversary of the launch of Death Stranding, and something else I wanted to add, and they shadow dropped it. Like, for those people saying that they're never going to put games on Xbox, sometimes they're not going to have any fucking choice, because this is his IP and he can put it where he wants it. When I load up my console, it will say PlayStation Studios attached to that game. I think this goes into a lot around what's happening with PlayStation at the moment. The fact that they were willing to let him own the IP again. And I say that it sounds like maybe some money exchanged hands. And so there's a lot here. Like, if PlayStation was in a really good spot, do you think that they would have waited? I mean, they would have allowed this game to no longer be a PlayStation exclusive.
You gotta make
Maybe
that
they didn't want
encore
to pay
money
the
back.
money to re-up it. And so it goes back to him. Who knows? But what are your thoughts around Death Stranding 2 potentially, meaning that it's probably going to make its way over to PC and Xbox? Yeah. Nero, you want to
I
add
think that's a
anything?
good thing.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's a good thing when the creators get that creative freedom. So if this mean that uh, Kojima got more freedom now, so he can go where he want, do what he want, what he worked for and worked with. He's very creative. That's why I stand by saying Death Stranding is a great game. It's definitely one of the most unique games I played last generation, by far. So definitely happy for him. And I think you made a good point, Panda. I think if Sony was in a really good place, this doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But then again, maybe it does. Maybe they want to keep that good relationship with them. So it's kind of hard to tell. But either way, I know this is good for him. So I care about the creative mind at the end of the day. I don't really care about uh, Sony and their greed and wanting to lock things up. As long as Kojima is happy now, which he apparently is, and it's dope that this happened on the anniversary. And the price range, like I said, is really dope. So I hope he gain a lot of new fans and continue to grow that fan base. That being
Yeah.
said, I think Death Stranding 2 is definitely gonna cook, and I for sure got to get back to Death Stranding myself so I can get ready for 2 because that game is definitely unique.
Hmm. Um, I think. Sorry, just reading Tryhard's comment about. I thought it had to do with an exclusive deal ending, but I have no idea. Um, I think it had potentially a 5-year exclusivity deal, but to get their IP back does put a lot of thought into what happens to Death Stranding 2 and where that ends up going and how long that will stay exclusive to PlayStation before it goes to PC and before it comes to Xbox. I think that's a really interesting conversation, but I'm going to throw to Soul now. Soul, you want to add some of your magic to the topic? He's like, nah, got no magic.
No, I have no magic on that whatsoever. None. So I'm kind of
You don't think? I mean, you did say it would be cool if it did come to Xbox, right?
um
The
I,
sequel?
Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm so distracted. Death Stranding. I mean, yeah, it would be cool, if it comes over. I mean, that's good for Kojima. It's good for his pockets. It's good for Xbox players who never really get a chance to buy those games if you are kind of strapped to one console or one means of playing.
Perfect
That's
with the case
why,
now, yeah.
Tryhard had in the chat there about his game should be everywhere. There's a lot of games that should be everywhere, to be perfectly honest. And if it's not one
100%.
of those, yeah, if it's not one of those in-house games, from either Sony or Xbox, then put that shit everywhere. I mean, because at the end of the day, if the goal is to make money, make your money. That's just it. And that's what they're going to do, though. They're going to put games in places, and they're going to put some games, I think, that we might not see coming. On PlayStation, we know it's going to PC. For Xbox fans, that is, there's going to be some games that go other places that people won't like. But at the end of the day, multiplayer stuff, man, it's easy for me to say put it everywhere because
Mm.
there's a lot of games I don't play that I would say would just be Microsoft games that are multiplayer games. So, but put it everywhere. Let people play it. I mean, if you're not going to put the base game, okay. I mean, yeah, hey, that's fine. I know no one wants to see Halo on a PlayStation console, but guess what? If they separated it and put the multiplayer over there, what do you guys think what do you think the rhetoric would be, or what do you think hardcore fans would say and do? Do you think they would be like,
I'm
"Hey,
just going
I'm
to
out
say
of
what I
here,"
think the
or
PlayStation fans are going to say. They'll be like, oh, Concord was shit.
"Damn, I was I was trying
Sorry,
to
Concord.
see. I had brought in the serious tone and everything, and yeah, well, yeah, I guess they probably would. I
Yeah,
mean,
because
but
they
hey,
played
then,
Drake at
but
that.
then, and
Yeah.
then also there would be that third person perspective that they would get as well.
Yeah.
If this is
Yeah.
going to be a thing that they move
All
forward
Halo
with and
needs to
has
do
as an option.
is turn Master Chief into a dad and give him a bow and arrow or an axe.
They might. Hey, earlier before I jumped on, I heard y'all talking about. I
Sorry,
heard y'all talking about
PlayStation.
Atreus kind of taking over. Maybe it's a setup for him to take over. And I got to thinking like that damn Atreus. He does have a bow and arrow. Shit, they can't get away from it. Yeah, they can't get away from it. But anyway, I digress. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was
No,
just
more,
trolling. Just trolling.
more games in other places would I think are good
It's
for.
always a good thing.
It's always a good thing because it always does suck when a game drops somewhere and either in the moment um or just whatever due to your income or even desire that you can't pick up the game. If it's your income and it's perfectly fine if you can't pick it up. And that's everybody can't buy 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games a year.
No, they can't.
Shit,
That's why
even
I love
with
Game
Game
Pass.
Pass. Yeah,
Oh
and
yeah,
yeah,
even with
even
Game
with
Pass, I'm
Game
like,
Pass or even with these services, because you still want to buy games. What Game Pass does for me is not only just expose me to a lot of different games, but then knowing that the first party stuff is coming and I don't have to pay full price for it, just the price of admission for the month, right? So then you know, I have more money I can play around with because of that.
can I
And so
just
I end
say,
up buying up a little bit more than I probably would, because I would restrict myself even more. Like, no, 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 I'm good for the year. We're gonna have to figure out something out. Christmas sale.
yeah,
Go ahead.
this is just a little bit of shout out all to all the posts I saw where people were downplaying Death Stranding from the PlayStation side, and I'm like, you're more loyal to your PlayStation brand than you are to yourself as a gamer. If you had been trying to just tell yourself it was a good game just because it was a PlayStation exclusive, either it was a good game or it wasn't a good game. I just love the amount of it's not on my console anymore. It's no longer an exclusive. I'm gonna hate it and throw all my toys out of the ring. Like fucking love watching people prove how little integrity they have. It's great. Popcorn moment every time I read those tweets and those posts. Um, and I think that's a big thing from everyone on this panel is like, we have integrity and like we're going to give our honest opinions. But yeah, interesting. Are you excited for next week? The rumored around like next week to do with potentially getting Indiana Jones bigger preview, something to do with South of Midnight.
Mm,
And also something potentially from Activision, specifically Blizzard, maybe fingers crossed, an announcement of Warcraft 2: The Dark Tides remaster.
mm, okay. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I would that's the news I'm excited for. But yeah,
I'm excited for anything extensive with Indiana Jones
mm-hmm.
and South of Midnight.
Yeah.
And those two for me are the things that I am excited about. Give me more of that, and I will be perfectly fine. Now, World of Warcraft, not my bag, but I'm happy for you if it does. How about that? What the hell is
I
that? Oh my gosh, that's funny.
yeah, that is funny. Yeah. Nero. Nero, you wanted to talk about. We're learning a little bit more about weaving Hazel's journey from South of Midnight. There's a
Yeah,
documentary that's been announced coming November
definitely
12th. 12th.
I'm
12th.
definitely excited for that. Can't wait to see what's being shown and just all the detail they're putting into it. I love these type of
Mm-hmm.
documentaries and dev diaries, so that's awesome. I'm already sold on Indiana Jones, so it's pretty much nothing more that they can show at this point. I don't want to see anymore. At this point, I
Yeah.
just want to get into the game and
Which is the opposite of
be fresh.
Tryhard, because Tryhard really wants to see more.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's. I
The
mean, at
only
this
thing,
point, it's next month, so I'm like, it's so close.
yeah,
I'm sold
yeah.
on it. It's in Game Pass. I don't need to see no more. I'm ready to just have it in front of me and rock and lock and load personally.
Mm.
But definitely it'd be good to see some more, even if they do like a little dev diary or, explain, what all they went into. Then I know you mentioned World of Warcraft. That's not really my thing, so I don't
No,
really
no, no,
got
no,
too
no,
much of
not
an
World of
opinion on it.
Warcraft. No,
Or what
no,
was it?
no. Just Warcraft, the
Oh,
original. This was
oh my bad.
before World
I
of
said Warcraft.
Warcraft. So there's Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2, and Warcraft 3, and then they did WoW. And I'm not a
Hmm.
WoW fan. The RTS games. Tides of Darkness is like my favorite out of all of them. But definitely needs a remaster. And it, it tells the story of like, I feel like if I'm remembering it correctly, like what happens after the orcs come into the human world. Um, and if you did watch the Warcraft movie, that is, I guess, like the story there is like a bit of like a prequel of what led to Warcraft 2's game.
Okay.
where there's a bit of overlap around how they ended up being in the human world. Yeah, and so fan-fucking-tastic. You get to play as humans or orcs, and if you play as orcs, it's harder. But yeah, I've played both campaigns, and there's a map editor too as well. You can make your own maps. I fucking loved that game. I played so much, so much. I'm pretty sure my parents were sick of that. Was all I was playing growing up was Warcraft 2.
Okay.
Yes, that's my excitement for that. 100% need more of that in my life. Yeah, more indie. I want more indie because I can't play the game yet, and so I'm just like, I need it. I need it. Give me the scraps. And then anything to do with South of Midnight, yes, please.
Yeah.
I think it's such a unique looking game.
Yep. Yep. That's where I'm at. I think it's just it is a it looks to be like a breath of fresh air art style.
I never knew there were more Warcraft games aside from WoW. Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm not a fan of them,
Damn.
and I know that.
Learn something new every day, try hard. You learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm.
I was a big RTS fan growing up. Massive RTS fan.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much now, because it takes a lot of time. It's a lot of time just getting through certain things. So, yeah. So many times if you fuck it up, you have to restart that stage again. And it's a lot of time.
Yeah,
Okay,
see,
sorry.
I have no idea. Wouldn't even know.
RTS games, you haven't played many?
Not my bag.
Fair
Not
enough.
my bag.
Fair enough.
Mm-mm.
I don't blame you. All right. Nero, is there anything else you want to add in for the day before we head out? Because we're basically
Nah, that's about it. Pretty good show, and I think next week we'll be having a lot more news to talk about. This week has been pretty slow, but it was still a good show.
Yeah.
Look at them bars. Look at that.
Hey, you know what? I was just thinking about something before we jump off. Have you noticed that the Xbox news has actually been good for like almost 3 weeks?
Shh,
really nothing.
You
don't jinx it.
Yeah, like don't put focus on the bear. The bear's not there.
I'm just saying. Well, my point with that.
Have you noticed?
My point that I wanted to make with that is that the media, are things changing?
No.
Do they see the writing on the wall? They're getting ahead of it.
You mean, are they going to grift?
That's all I'm
probably. Saying. They're probably going to grift. They're the biggest grifters of them all. Can I just say, in saying that, the timing of the news of the shadow drop of Death Stranding on Xbox was the release date for the PS5 Pro.
Yeah, Microsoft.
How? That's kind of funny.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Considering it's been the opposite. Every time something Xbox good happens, PlayStation does something to fuck with it.
I think the gloves are off. I think the gloves are off in a few ways. Like, I think Satya is happy with those returns so far. They can see how it's going to continue, especially with, I'm sure they already outlined when they're trying to drop. I mean, DLC is, I mean, not DLC, the season is about to drop, right? So that's coming, and I'm sure he's like, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. They're looking at these numbers.
Well, considering
they're like, it's going to drive everything.
Yeah, the numbers are increased for subscribers. They've seen a lot of people just try the game, which is quite good. Like people who may not have tried it before just because it's in Game Pass. And that's what Game Pass is. And I'm so glad to hear that is what's resulted, because that I believe that's what happens with a lot of games. They get so much more ice on them than they normally would because it's included in your subscription, rather than going, I can only afford to buy these AAA games. It's really hard. And then that's all you play. But because they're like indie games are streamed in there, put through there, littered through there. You try so many things. Yep. So even a big game like Black Ops 6, there were plenty of people who were like, nah, COD's not for me. I'm not going to try it. I don't want to pay for it. And just putting it in there is enough to go, might give it a go. And then some people will like it. And then
Yeah.
all the microtransactions, right? They're just looking
Mm,
at this going, how can we make more money?
and that's it. And that is it. And I'm trying to tell you, if with what they own right now, the ones with the microtransactions, let me say D4s, those skins and everything else are ridiculously overpriced. Um, and I have yet to see a good sale to make me want to go ahead and spend another $20 on just one skin. I
I
haven't
haven't bought
seen
one
that, but
skin at
if
all.
they ever drop their prices for what they have or make a bundle, you know what I mean? And I can only imagine because see, since I don't play COD, I have no idea what kind of bundles and things they might or may not have for skins and weapons and all that kind of bullshit like that. But I'm speaking on the D4 because it all ties back into that money that Microsoft is making, and they're making a lot of these
You are
transactions,
100% right
microtransactions.
about the prices though.
They're
You look at
shit.
you look at little like microtransactions in phone games and some of them are like $1,
Yeah.
$2 max type
And people
things.
buy them all up, and that's how they spend money.
And that's how they and it adds up and they don't even notice it adding up. And
Yep.
that's exactly how you spend money. Like these microtransactions,
Yeah.
like people would be fine if they're like $5 max a pop.
If it was 5, I would even say, well, shit. Okay, if I get 4, that's a hot 20. I'm good.
You just
I'm over here like I ain't going
you
nowhere
just will
this
be like,
weekend.
oh, this was $100. I'll just buy the whole store. That's a great deal.
Or yeah, but you hear what I just said? I'm like, shit. Oh, that's 20. I ain't going nowhere this weekend. I'm good because you think. I think for me, anytime I step out the house, it's damn near guaranteed I'm spending money.
So you actually got 5. You just thought you got 4.
Whatever. so, so I wish they would drop those prices because I'd be one of those folks who are spending all this money as well. But since they're to me overpriced, I'm not spending that money. But there are people who are spending a lot of money on these microtransactions, and
Yeah.
so they're going to just continue to make a killing. They haven't even talked about how much King has brought in so far.
No, they
I
haven't.
mean,
And
not
it's
recently,
fucking
not recently.
Satya and
no.
them boys is raking it in, raking it
And they
in.
raking it
It's
in,
just passive.
and oh,
It's passive income at this point.
right. And so what's going to happen is it's just kind of like somebody just put in the chat that Microsoft is about to take the gloves off and just buy up everything because old Lena Khan, she's out. We don't know who's going to be in, especially with the administration that's going to be changing here in January or whatnot. And if we get somebody that just allows any and every damn thing as much as they can, Microsoft is about to ball out. Ball out. Take Two might not be off the table. Ball out.
All right.
Wait and
All
see.
right.
Yeah.
Reminder, soul. If you played Croc like I did, it's coming out next month. Croc
Oh, okay.
remastered.
Oh, I'll look for it. I'll look
Mm.
for it.
If you
I,
played
I
it
will.
originally, if anyone in the chat has played Croc, the remaster's coming out next month. I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited
Mm.
it's not going to have tank controls. I mean, they're there, but you don't have to use them. Thank God. Okay. All right, we're heading out. Soul, where can people find you?
Oh, hey, you can find me on the app called X at I Got Soul, just like the handle that's up there on the old screen. You can find me there. I actually am checking out old Blue Sky. See what that's about. I don't know. I heard about it. I said, let me try
Blue
something
Sky?
different. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what it's about. I'm just trying to see myself,
Let me
but it's
know.
the exact same. Yeah, it's the exact same handle. You can find me there. I am on every day looking at all of the foolishness that Nero is posting throughout the day as he is going hard with some of these PC and console warriors. He is giving zero F's about them, but he is
Love you for
giving
that.
them that heat. So I love it too. You keep fighting a good fight, young brother. But yeah, that's where you
Sir,
can
yes,
find
sir.
me.
Nero.
Uh,
Nero. Where can people find you or avoid you, whatever their preference is?
NextGenNero on all platforms, just like you see on the screen, man. NextGenNero on everything. Got some content I'm working on. More stuff coming soon. And, plenty of stuff to be happy about as gamers, man. So I appreciate everybody that came through tonight and the chat. So appreciate you coming through, man. Happy you ever was able to come through and make it, and
Yeah.
Panda, and just another great show. Next week we should definitely have some, more topics and news. I think it's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so too. Just want to say a quick shout out to everyone in chat, everyone who's watching across X or Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. Thank you. Everyone who's going to be watching after the show is no longer live. Thank you as well. And we appreciate each and every one of you, and you always make us laugh or add questions to the conversation that just keep it flowing, and even make us think a little differently about our perspective on things, which is we really appreciate. So we will see you next week. Yeah, take care of all of yourselves. I think next week we have a guest. From memory, we have a guest next week. That blue number from Xbox Infinite and oh my god, Renegade Realm podcast will be with us on the 16th. And so we will see you all next week. Behave yourselves, look after yourselves, and keep gaming. Yeah. Bye.
Guys, in the next one.